Hello and welcome to the Premade Unstoppable Playoffs first round. This is a best of
Microphone
three
muted.
series between Total Advantage and EOD. We are just getting into Pro Draft right now. We got a Caitlyn ban going on first. What do you think about Caitlyn first ban on blue side?
Caitlyn ban, pretty standard. You're going to see it pretty much every game nowadays. Interesting how we'll get to see how EOD reacts to this one. Kane ban coming down, actually.
I like the Kane ban. He's a Kane one trick. He's got 226 games on it this season. His next closest is Fiddle with 21, so always ban the one tricks.
Absolutely. Echo ban coming through for Team TA here. Pretty standard. Do they have any Echo games? They must.
I'm not seeing a whole lot of Echo in this op.gg.
Well,
but
someone must play it on EOD.
Or the mid laner's just afraid of it, or the jungler. Morgana ban, pretty standard if you want to run any engaged tanks, which looking at EOD, I believe they prefer to run them in the bot lane. It's also a hard counter to Thresh, which is one of Adam's most played, as well as Rakan.
Oh, absolutely. So they may be looking at one of those two champions here. I wonder if TA will recognize that. We get to see what their third and final ban here is for round one. Olaf ban coming through. That is potentially two jungle bans, depending if
Potentially.
jungle.
Olaf is a really strong independent jungler. He can take over the game all by himself. He can just power farm and secure all the objectives for him. He's good at everything, all around, very versatile. Feels bad to play against it if your enemy jungler is good. So I like the ban.
Tom Kench ban coming through. There's an interesting one. I was getting
Total Advantage has played a lot of Tom Kench over the course of their Risen season, so I'm not that surprised to see Tom Kench, even though I do think it is a weak pick. But Rakan first pick is pretty strong. A little weird to not give yourself the counter pick in support, and the Leona counter comes in pretty quickly.
Yeah, actually, there's been some talk about how Rakan blind first pick is actually really strong, just because he can be, so versatile in his play style, right? He can play back, he can play forward aggressive, so it's a nice, safe blind pick for round.
As someone who has a Rakan one trick on his team, Rakan feels very bad early. He can't do anything into the Leona early, but once you get your tenacity stacked up in your resolve tree, you get so much tenacity that her Q stuns you for about 0.1 seconds, and it's like it never even happened. So later on, the Leona is not that much to fear, but Tristana Leona has a lot of early power for EOD, so they'll be looking to dominate that bot lane.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on the support matchup. Should be pretty interesting to see if the Rakan turns out like you say. I think it will. But Leona Tristana here, I'm excited for that one. That is a lot of engagement.
Lucian is a really strong pick for this team. JC3, I believe, is the team captain for Total Advantage, has looked very good on Lucian in the past. It seems like when he puts on his carry pants, the team does well. The two players to watch have typically been JC3 and their starting jungler, but their starting jungler is not here this week. They have a sub. So we'll see if he can put on the carry pants by himself. The Veigar blind into Xerath is a little bit strange, I would say. I wouldn't consider either one of those champions to be flavor of the month or particularly strong in the meta, but hopefully it's something comfortable for both of them. We'll get to see a nice control mage matchup.
Absolutely. As a Xerath player myself, this is definitely what seems like a mid-favored matchup. We'll have to see the jungler from TA to really determine it, but I mean, they're both very punishable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the jungle picks are going to play a huge role in this mid matchup here. If it's left alone, it's going to be a farm fest, though.
Looking at team themes so far, we've got Fiddlesticks band against TA, and Lucian Veigar Rakan is a really strong team fight comp. You can get a lot done with the Veigar area of control. Rakan engage is strong, Lucian is great all-around damage. So far, we're not seeing as much meshing on the EOD side. Leona Tristana really want a team fight, and Xerath really just wants to poke. He wants to stay back. He wants to not be in the thick of it. So we'll see if they can round it out with some more engaged tools to help out the Leona. I like the Camille ban. Strong. Since they're going to have to blind their top laner most likely, since the mid's already been picked. Taking away anything strong that can counter you is good.
Jack's ban coming up for EOD here. That's a good ban as well. It's really good into that Tristana. Doesn't die to Xerath as well.
Tail ban, that's interesting.
We'll have to see what the teams have in mind here. I wouldn't say normal bans, but we must have some non-meta
interesting.
plays here.
EOD's top laner, if I'm looking at this correctly, myopia, I'm not, never mind. The top laner is a kill one trick. Their jungler is a top laner also in the solo queue and has 400 Renekton games, so I was looking for that Renekton pick. But obviously, if he's in the jungle, he's probably going to be piloting this Volibear. Could go top, could go jungle. A very strong flex pick. It's still fine in the jungle. Feels good. Feels even better top lane if you were watching the Worlds today. Subwhippo pilot Volibear to victory.
Kazakhstan going to be coming through for TA here. Now, so far with TA's team comp, they're pretty short range.
Yes.
So they might have a little bit of a hard time to that Xerath Tristana late game.
I'm not sure. I was really with the total advantage draft at first, but the Kazakhs Fiora I feel like don't fit the theme that they were drafting.
Agree.
Fiora is all split push, and Kazakhs wants to do a lot of the same things that Evelyn does, which is split the team up, play the map, pick off exposed and rotating laners. And I guess with the Fiora split and the strong 3-man, maybe they can get that if their macro is really clean, but we'll have to see if they get it. And it's going to be a Volibear jungle and a Vladimir top, most likely. I'm assuming it's not Xerath top. Just wants to
Vladimir pick.
Farm it out, I suppose, versus the Fiora. Probably pretty safe, not under a lot of kill pressure as long as he doesn't overextend. But again, this is another matchup that can be really influenced by the junglers. Vladimir does well against CCing junglers, but sometimes can do poorly against damage junglers who can just one-shot him. So we'll have to see if they can make anything happen here.
Absolutely. You know, I don't die from EOD here. Leona, Tristana, Volibear, Vlad. This comp is so good at just going ham. And
it's a great dive. If you can get any sort of Xerath prep down with some wards and then get their health bars a little bit low, dive them with the Leona volley with the Tristana Vlad follow-up, it's going to be a really bad time for this Lucian Vygar if they can't play off the cage really, really well.
Absolutely. Talking about those jungle picks, you know, affecting the mid lane matchup. Kazakhs and Volibear, they could both, you know,
they both have a lot of potential to kill the enemy laner. Obviously, it's a little bit harder to kill Vygar. He's got a lot better of a stun to stop himself.
Yes.
From getting ganked so easily. Volibear, though, point and click stun. If he can get over the cage, maybe flashing over it with Nimbus Cloak or something like that, ulting over it in later stages, it is possible for him to avoid the cage. Xerath E is a lot harder to land on an invisible bug. The jungle pathing level 1, I think, is going to be really important, both for the mid lane matchup and for the top lane matchup, because I think a lot is going to be decided based on whose carries gets further ahead. If the Fiora is a non-factor, this total advantage team kind of falls apart. But if the Vladimir isn't there to bring the damage in the team fights, I'm not sure EOD can function either. So I'm really interested to see these level 1 paths from the junglers.
Absolutely. I think EOD has some pretty good late game insurance with Vlad, Xerath, Tristana. I mean, these three champions will just hammer you into the floor late game. TA, on the other hand, I mean, they have the Vygar. And that's really it. I mean, Fiora scales pretty well. Lucian, depending if he goes man immune. But I think the later this game goes, the better it looks for EOD.
I especially want to touch on that point that you made earlier about short range comp. Lucian is not a long range AD carry, and Tristana's range gets longer as the game progresses. It is hard to play into a Vygar sometimes, but as long as she can buffer her jump correctly, it's hard for her to die if it hits level 18. We'll have to see if she can play it correctly.
Absolutely. And we are getting done with Champ Select here, so we are going to take it to break, and we will catch you guys once the game starts. What is up,
Oh,
ladies and
he
gentlemen? We got EOD versus TA going on right here. We have on the blue side, Fiora in the top lane, Jungle Kha'Zix, mid lane Vigar. In the bot lane, we got Lucian and Rakan.
On the red side, we've got Vlad top, Volley jungle, Xerath mid, and there's a little bit of a scuffle breaking out top lane. Fiora's taking his lunch money. We got Tristan and Leona bot to finish it out for the red team. Gonna take a quick back there with the moral victory for the Fiora. Doesn't seem like anything too major happened.
I'm no genius, but let me just check here. Did Fiora get a grass proc off of that?
She did get a grass proc, so I guess she does have a little bit of max health.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is over for the top lane matchup.
No potions were expended, however, so it's not going to be too bad for anybody. Lucian started Cull. Him and his Dark Harvest Rakan, a little bit of anti-synergy, I feel. Not sure how he's ever going to proc that Dark Harvest with his Cull ADC, but maybe they know something I don't about the bot lane matchup. Maybe it's so that free. Topside start here for the volley. Pretty interesting. He's going to be pathing down towards his bot side, maybe looking to brawl for the bottom scuttle or looking for a 3v3. Kha'Zix starting on his red with no leash.
Yeah, we're interesting to see where this Volibear goes. Looks like he's heading up to Krugs. That might be a Krugs into Raptors into mid lane, which, you know, is pretty expected. Or maybe he goes straight top.
Work, I think. I would be a little wary of fighting with a Vlad. Fiora definitely has the outplay potential. He won't be that high of HP. Kha'Zix taking his red buff. Can look for a mid gank after he does Krugs. Pretty standard. Tristana getting shoved in early. Lucian using his mana to get the wave in. So there will be no bot side gank for blue side. He's going up to his top side next.
Now, you touched on the Dark Harvest Rakan. So you may be thinking to yourself, wow, this guy knows something I don't. Something OP. I believe it was confirmed in chat that he took it on accident.
Okay.
But they're, you know, I guess it is what it is, and you got to play the game out.
Not, I would say, the optimal summoner spell. Pretty much one of the worst ones you could have. But we'll see if he can make it work. Maybe the team gap is just big enough, you know?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe it'll pay off, and he'll be doing some big damages late game.
Volibear is a camp ahead of the Kha'Zix at this point. His no leash stopped him from clearing as quickly. He left his Krugs up, whereas Volibear's cleared every camp available to him, so he's going to finish his blue here and be a camp ahead. Probably going to handshake the scuttles. Kha'Zix will get the top, Volibear will get the bottom. Then we might see some explosion here on the bot side as the blue team is pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, if you're Volibear right now, you're looking to yourself, ooh, I'm going to get the scuttle, and I'm working my way bot lane. These guys are looking like snacks down there.
Not optimal Volibear gameplay there, for sure. If you stun before the E drops, it does take more damage. Just saying. Kha'Zix slowly clearing up his own Scuttlebug. Volibear pinging towards mid lane.
Oh no, we see. This is what we talked about. How the junglers are going to play around mid lane. And look at this. We have both junglers right here. Going to be making the move on the Vigar. Stun misses from the Xerath. They're just going to walk away from that one. Nothing big.
Potential 2v2 there, avoided with a little fancy feat. I'm not sure who would have come out on top there. If the Volibear had been willing to expend his flash, it might have gone a little bit differently, but Kha'Zix pathing top.
Vladimir looking to be in a little bit of a sticky situation here. Kha'Zix coming in right behind him. Gonna be seeing if they can get him here. Pool wasted already. He goes back. He's kind of accepting his fate at this point. Running the opposite direction of his base.
Looks a little bit like accepting defeat there. There will be no outplay on a level 4 Vladimir.
Yeah.
Did not have quite good enough vision control to be up that far. Needed a ward a little bit further down to stop the Kha'Zix. But that is what it is. Happens sometimes when you top lane.
Absolutely. So now Volibear took his first back, whereas Kha'Zix stayed on the map. And he's taking advantage of it. I don't know if he knows Volibear back, but he's on those Raptors and he just does not care.
It's actually a Raptors trade. The Volibear got the Kha'Zix's Raptors after the bot play, and it's equalized a bit. Kha'Zix and Volley are now even, except Kha'Zix has left a Raptor up.
I missed that. Thank you. Okay. well, Volibear is going to be treated with a little bit of sadness when he gets back over to his Raptors.
One measly little chicken for him. Tristana's lane power has now finally unveiled itself, and they've managed to shove Total Advantage's bot lane in. Under the tower like you would expect any Tristana lane to be. It's a little bit of poke. Nothing happening. Let's see if the Volibear tries to make something happen in top. You know, see how Tilper's top laners. He's getting engaged on, though.
Nice little trade by Fiora. Vladimir is staying a little bit too long. Gonna be losing that trade. The wave is slow pushing into him top, so he's got something going for him at least.
Or did spike 6, though.
Ah.
Vlad is not super diveable, however. Can just pull the Fiora ult if she attempts it. She walks away. But Fiora is gonna try to contest the red buff respawn. It's interesting. I don't know if she has the timer. Okay, she's just getting a ward.
So Baron is up here, Infernal Drake as, sorry, not Baron, Dragon up here as the Infernal. It looked for a second like maybe the red side was going to be looking for it, but back to bot lane they go. Nothing happening. Wards on it from the blue side.
Red team has, EOD has good vision coverage here in their bot side. They've got the Tribush warded.
And they're
feeling pretty safe to push up.
Volibear
sneaking
into the bush here. I like this. I'm all for the aggressive.
Leona's going in.
Volibear. Tristana going to be jumping in. Leona following. They find the stun onto the Rakan, but he's playing Rakan. He's just going to dash right out of there. Extended trade from the 80 carries here. Going to be a pretty even trade. Now, the big question, do they know Volibear's there? I think they do.
They do, actually. When you auto from the brush onto a minion, it reveals everything in the bush with you.
Yes, sir.
A little known trick for all you 80 carry mains out there. If you're trying to hide your jungler, you can't auto from the bush, okay? You gotta completely avoid the bush he's in.
A little bit of a failed gank attempt into the top lane. This Vladimir is level 6 with phase rush now. That guy's not easy to kill, but they do see the Kazakh's top lane and they decide, hey, free dragon.
He did have to expend his Hemoplague there to escape the 2v1, but you're fine burning the ult, and that failed gank bottom converts into a dragon.
Absolutely.
We're going to be looking at either Ocean or Cloud Soul here. Both pretty decent for the red team, looking to control these dragons.
Now they know the Vladimir has no ult, so this Fiora can play aggressively. Gets the riposte onto it, going for the dive. Vladimir might fall here. She does fall to Fiora, and Fiora trades 1-for-1, dying to tower there.
Unfortunately, the Fiora is going to end up losing out in that trade overall due to however she stacked that wave by going for that aggressive trade. The Kha'Zix is going to push it in so she doesn't lose as much, and he will pick some stuff up, but the Vlad should get there in time to catch that pretty big wave.
Yeah,
and
TP available.
That win for the Vlad, who just wants to survive this lane phase.
Yeah, that's a win. If you're happy with that. Mid lane, snooze fest. Junglers tried for it early game, but now it's at the point where both mid laners can clear waves pretty easily, so it's just a farm fest.
Got a Ludens first for the Xerath, probably a Hextech GLP because of the glacial rune on the Vigar. Glacial augment is not a thing anymore. Vladimir looking to hold that wave top as best he can. It looks like he might be able to set up a freeze due to that cannon still being alive. Vladimir pathing bot down to his blue buff. Maybe trying another sneaky bot gang. Maybe just trying another full clear. We'll have to see.
Vladimir now a level up on this Fiora, and Fiora's trying to get the wave in, and she will succeed in doing so. Not without a little trade first, it actually goes negative for Fiora.
This Vlad is getting a little bit spooky.
Yeah, he's got his Kindle Gem and Fiendish Codex, so this man is, he's rocking that 20% CDR right now.
Fight over this ward here top, though.
Oh,
sprints away with a Phase Rush.
Nice little chunk from Fiora there.
Isaac roams up to try and get some vision control in the bot side river for his team. Unfortunately, the Volibear's there and instantly clears it all out.
Volibear with fancy feet, but he's going to be stepping up a little too far. Kha'Zix comes in to try and stop him. Volibear running deep for no reason. Wow, Xerath manages to actually pick him up. 1v1 left. Barrier comes down from Xerath, but wait, Fiora's here. Going to be chasing him down, and they will manage to find him before he gets under that tower.
And a really nice roam from the Fiora converts a 2v2 that would have been a 1-for-1 into a nice 2-for-1. She gets an assist, she gets some extra gold to help her dominate this Vladimir, and she's not going to lose much of that wave top. Really heads up play from the top laner test account there to make a decent play, a great one for his team.
And then out of nowhere, Rakan gets caught out bot lane. That CC from Leona with Tristana damage, that guy got blown up instantly.
All right, everything good that the Fiora just did was completely negated by his Rakan running it down. He's saying ×9 him in all chat right now.
So it's pretty interesting. In that little 2v2 in bot lane, Tristana had a BF sword, whereas Lucian has the full mana mute already. So you thought he could fight back a little better, but it doesn't seem like it.
Leona stepping a little bit far forward.
They don't know Kha'Zix is here right now, but they have to know something's up. But Lucian is just, he's blasting. Nothing gonna come from it, though.
Ooh, Kha'Zix might overextend here.
Oh, they have no idea Volibear's there. Hello, they found Kha'Zix, but he's got the jump away.
I think if Volibear had been a bit quicker on the draw with the Q there, he might have been able to stop the Kha'Zix from jumping, but too little too late.
Absolutely. Oh, they see Leona. Both teams, they look like they're itching. They want to fight. Oh, I lied. They're all backing now. Kha'Zix getting chunked out a little bit from Xerath. This Xerath is going to be a problem pretty soon. Once he finishes that Ludens, he's going to be chunking. We haven't seen,
sitting on about 700 gold, so he needs a few more waves to hit his Ludens, unless he's willing to sell his Dark Seal. Dragon's coming up in about 45 seconds, so we'll have to see which team makes a play for it. Blue side's, or total advantage rather, vision is much better than red team's, but maybe Leona can clear some of it out.
Absolutely. Rakan looks like he is going to jump away from that one. Easy peasy. So now red side does seem to have the jump on the dragon here, but the Kha'Zix has the jump on Leona. You see Leona, she's going to get out with a flash, but not if you're getting chunked. Stun lands onto the Xerath. Meanwhile, top lane, a fight breaking out. Volibear coming in to try to help him clean it up. Chasing down Fiora into the bush. Fiora looks back onto the Vladimir, but looks like she is going to fall here. Unless she runs away, Volibear has to use ult. But now they do see the jungler top side, so I wonder if blue side will try to make a go for the dragon here, but Kha'Zix did just back.
I'm not sure how I feel about that Kha'Zix back. We saw them get control of the river. They expended the Leona flash to try and not die. Then they saw the Volibear top. That was a super free dragon. You had a big man advantage. The Leona was chunked. There was no reason to back there. I don't care what item spike you have. You take the free dragon. You say, thank you, Volibear, for ganking top. And now this could be contested if EOD decided to. It doesn't look like they're going to, however.
So now Kha'Zix jumps into the back of the pit. Looks like he's going to, just pick it up for free. Maybe
that's a play from the Volibear, though, to trade for the Rift Herald.
That's a good point. Well played by him. If he's able to secure it, he might not be done in time. But we will see. Kha'Zix eyeing mid lane here. But as I said, the Xerath is at the point where he can clear minions pretty easily. But Kha'Zix going to be jumping in anyways. Barrier comes down.
So
no flash available.
He pinged that the Kha'Zix was there. He knew what was happening, and he still just edged a little bit too far forward to not respect the Kha'Zix. They pinged the Kha'Zix location. Hate to see that from your mid laner.
Little 2v2 squabble. Fiora maybe going in a little too deep. Vladimir burst coming down. She actually trades pretty well into the Volibear, but she's going to be able to slip on out of that one scot-free. Kha'Zix says, nope, I want back in. Vygar, Blast Plant's over. 4 members of blue side are here, but Vladimir's actually going to get out of that one.
Combined with the pool and phase rush, keeping him alive. I'm sure Nimbus Cloak help a little bit there as well.
Now they know the solution's all alone down bot lane, so they're just going to kill him. Very well played from Leona.
Very nice by EOD. Very nice.
Now
seems like their bot lane has a better handle.
Absolutely. They recognize it, right? They said, oh, there's 4 people top. Well, what is Lucian doing down here all alone? Let's just kill him. And that's exactly the mindset you need to have.
It's a pretty classic mistake in lower elo leagues like Unstoppable and Rampage that people do not respect the map. If your 4 members are topside, you cannot just sit under that bot side tower, especially against such a powerful duo as Leona and Tristana. So he's paying for his disrespect there, much like Xerath paid for his disrespect to the Kha'Zix just a bit earlier.
Absolutely. But nonetheless, this Xerath is farming up. I'm just excited to see late game.
As we just crest the 15-minute mark, let's take a little bit of a look at items and gold. Kha'Zix is sitting on Warrior. Fiora has finished her Ravenous Hydra. GLP done on the Vigar. Manamune completed for the Lucian. Only one on the red team who does not have a completed item is the Rakan, but that's to be fairly expected. Not the worst thing in the world. Vlad has finished his Proto Belt. We've got Cinder Hulk Chain Vest on the Volibear, probably going towards that Dead Man's Plate. Finally completed the Ludens on Xerath. Eye Edge first on Tristana. It's pretty scary. And Knight's Vow on the Leona for more trading power.
So we're actually seeing 4 members of red team coming up top lane here. Leona ult does whiff onto the Fiora, but they're looking to use his Herald and dive Fiora top lane here.
Should be a pretty free first tower.
Absolutely. Fiora trying to run away from here. Volibear is catching onto her. Follow-up is too strong. Even the Xerath ult coming in. That is all 5 members on this Fiora.
Very, very clean play from the side of EOD. The Fiora is there. You know you have the numbers to force her down. Pop the Rift Herald, get more charges, really make them pay for not respecting this Rift top play.
Yeah, and now blue side was able to take the bot lane outer turret, which is, you know, the best you can do, but
getting a triple charge on the first Herald feels incredibly good. And they popped the tower with the Tristana. That's amazing. 3 towers in 1 push. That's a huge amount of gold. They've completely unlocked the top lane. Now Fiora's going to be catching pushed waves all the way back in her base pretty much. And they're diving the Vigar.
And now they rotated right up. Kha'Zix going to be looking onto the Tristana here. Rakan with a nice taunt. Kha'Zix looking for Tristana, but she's full health and looking like she walks out of there. Leona actually goes down.
And the Lucian Vigar combo getting her over the wall. Kha'Zix is extending the trade though. Barrier pop, nothing happening.
Kha'Zix is not done. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going. Evolve W going to be slowing that guy by 90%. Baiting out the Volibear ult. Stun actually lands onto the Kha'Zix. Going to be saved. Xerath gets blown up by Fiora in the backline, and it is just over for the red side.
That seemed a little bit too aggressive, but they greeted a little bit hard to kill the Kha'Zix there in the end and made it bad. Oh!
Fiora dies to tower. Oops.
That's an oops moment if you've ever seen one.
Yeah, I'd say so. I like that. That was, I don't know, what I would call, controlled aggression. They were getting in there. They were chasing them down because they knew that they hadn't backed in a while, right? None of them had backed after taking those 3 towers top lane. They went straight over to
sitting on his Cleaver completion. Really good completion for both his Fiora and Lucian. He's feeling real strong right now at 4-0-4. He's got a nice bounty. Feeling good.
Yeah, going to be opting for Black Cleaver first, which I think is a good choice into Vladimir who's going Zhonya's and Volibear Leona.
As well as the armor teching in for the enemies. It'll shred for his carries. His Lucian's not having the best time, and his Fiora's been targeted quite a lot, so making them a little bit more viable in the fights will never hurt.
Yes, sir. Now Dragon going to be started up by red side, who just lost a pretty big fight, but now they're back with a vengeance. Not all of blue side is here. Kha'Zix is down there recalling after taking Krugs, while Dragon is up.
A little bit of carry syndrome from the Kha'Zix. He's thinking, I can just do whatever I want. I can play for me. Nothing else matters. And he seeds a Drake he probably didn't have to seed, though his team did not have good setup. Let's see if they can get the Fiora here.
Now, Fiora does find herself a little overextended. Going to be chased down by Leona Volibear. Nice parry to block everything. Q flash out of there with the movement speed. She looks like she's actually made it out of this one. Xerath ult's coming in, but it's not quite enough.
Because of all those members down bot lane, they're going to trade for a mid-tier 2, which is arguably better than all the towers that EOD got in their Rift Herald push, and they're going to collect the top tier 1 as well. Really heads up macro play, and an excellent job by the Fiora to make it good.
Vladimir had overstayed a little bit, getting himself caught out and killed by Kha'Zix Fiora. Now Tristana finds herself alone, does go down to Kha'Zix, but not after taking the Fiora down with her.
Trade's 1 for 2, but this Kha'Zix is going to start to be a real problem for the squishy backliners of Xerath and Tristana. They have no way to answer. Xerath can build a Zhonya's, I suppose, but other than PD on Tristana, she's just got to hop away and hope for the best.
Yes, sir. Leona's going to have to do what she can to peel him off. Granted, she needs to be there next time, but let's go on.
They're pushing this top lane, collecting some waves, stacking his passive. We've got really high CS numbers on the mid laner and AD carry for total advantage. Sitting at really nice CS per minute, almost 9 or 10 for the Lucian, a little bit under that for the Vigar. He's feeling good about that.
Yes, sir. Now, taking a look at the gold advantage here, we see blue side, despite being down a dragon, is up for what? 3.2 thousand? Almost 4,000 gold here, and that's all on that Kha'Zix.
And it's almost all actually entirely on that Kha'Zix. He's sitting 3,500 gold up on his lane opponent. Not the biggest thing in the 1v1, but
Fiora getting caught out here. Going to be lasting for as long as she can, but it's not going to be enough. Tristana does manage to slip out of there. A TP in the middle of their team for Vladimir. Who does this man think he is?
I think that he's dead, is what I think he is.
I couldn't agree more. That is a dead blood man. Now, Herald... Oh, no, that's a mini-map bug. Herald is not available. Baron is available.
Yeah, the overlay is a little bit messed up there for me.
Yeah. But they are going to be looking towards Baron here. They said, hey, 2 free kills. Let's get that into a Baron. Get this lead snowballing.
Fiora's pushing out the mid wave. Rakan's sitting there over the wall. He opts to not anymore, just gets a ward. But they have pretty nice Baron damage and really good zone control. Hard for this to get stolen unless they just 50-50 it.
Absolutely.
Xerath's getting a lot of poke in, though.
Going to be forced to back off of this because
excellent Vigar cage.
Catching Volibear, going to be forced to ult out of here. The culling coming in, but not enough damage. Going to be turning back on. Oh my god, Tristana died. I didn't even realize. Fiora going a little far. Will she pay for it? Not at all. The Volibear split up from his team, and he looks like he will fall.
Between Ravenous Hydra and Grasp, there's just no way to take down that Fiora, and when the Tristana dies, she's the Fed member for EOD. So if ever she falls first in a fight, the fight's pretty much just over for them.
Yeah, so she died on mid-entrance river to topside river. That's not where her team was. She was alone from her team. You got to be with your team if you want to win.
They're looking for more. Get stunned though.
A little bit of a Baron dance going on here. Xerath is still alive. Going to be able to poke a little bit. But will it be enough?
Kha'Zix has a smite up, however. Should be pretty free.
Blue team is slaying the dragon. Going to be going over to Kha'Zix. Xerath gets one shot by the Kha'Zix in the back here. We have Fiora trying to live against this so much CC, and she's gonna do it. And they're gonna turn. Leona flashes away, gets out of there. Tristana forced to run away from this 11-0 Kha'Zix.
Pretty much it. I feel the Kha'Zix is 11-0. The Vigar's gonna start stacking up. The Fiora's back in the driver's seat. The Lucian's feeling quite strong now. They're gonna take a huge reset off of probably what 5-7 kills over the course of that play, as well as the Baron. They've got a lot of money in their pockets to spend. They're going to complete some items. Kha'Zix has his Duskblade Tiamat now. Lucian finishes his Eye Edge. Vigar got the Spooky Ghost. Everyone's feeling really strong on the side of total advantage. They're going to look to convert this Baron into a victory.
Oh, yeah. And how we had just talked about a 4,000 gold lead. Now it's all up to, what, 7,000?
Yeah.
So just like that, they are snowballing this lead, and that is exactly what you need to do if you are blue side. And this Kha'Zix, I got to say, has been piloting his team straight to the finish line.
It's a little bit of a feels bad man moment for the side of EOD. We're going to have to see if they can mount any hero comeback. The thing that I will say is they do have the scaling advantage on their side, so if they can extend this game turtle up, it's very possible that they can win it. Vladimir, Tristana are excellent scalers. They're going to have a much better front line with the Volibear, Leona. It's possible that they can make it work. Xerath can clear the waves. He loves it when people push into him. But no more deaths, no more freebies.
Yeah, I do agree. It is possible for them to come back, but you got to clean up your play. No more getting caught. No more overextending. Okay, that's what
brutal.
I'm talking about. That is a feels bad, man, if you're Tristana. Beautiful parry going to be coming down. They're actually going to maybe find 2. Kha'Zix going deep. Barely gets him. Slips out of there.
It's hard to watch. You feel EOD's need to make these plays to try and punish the members of Total Advantage for overextending, but you just can't do that anymore, and they're going to pay on over 2 kills for it.
Yeah, man, you gotta give credit to blue side here. There's that controlled aggression here. It looks like they're overextending, but they're in it together, and they're committing. And that's why these are working out.
First inhibitor crack for red team, and they can blue team, sorry, and they can honestly probably look for more if they wanted to. The Baron buff's still on. Got an empowered
wave. Going to be made to back out though. Lucian banging on top lane tower. They're going to take down the second tier top tower as well. Again, now we're on to an 11,000 gold lead for blue side.
It's just
Looking a little
mean.
cheats here. Kozik's going in. This is mean, he says. No, Vladimir does have flash available, but it's not going to matter at that point. Very
That
well
was
played.
mean-spirited. The person who wrote that tweet no longer works for the LCS, okay?
Volibear finding himself inting? I'm not sure what that was, if I'm being totally honest, but this might just be, Red's team is tilted. They're thinking about going next. It is what it is.
At this point in the game, I'm saying to my team, it's fine. We lost. We're going to change some stuff next time. You're going to play a little bit for fun. You're going to not try super hard for the remainder of this game just to preserve your mental for the rest of the series. If your mental breaks, then you're done forever. So you've got to laugh this off. You've got to shake it off. Everyone's been at the hands of a losing series at least once before. Take what you can get. Take the moral victory. Maybe you shut down the Kazakhs and that's enough. They sacrificed 5 people to kill him. Just anything that you can get for the mental edge for next game.
I couldn't agree more. When you start game 2, that is a fresh game right there. They're not ahead anymore. You got to think to yourself, it's possible. This is a new game. You can fight for it. Do not lose. I always say to my teammates, don't lose because you're tilted. Lose because they're better.
As someone who plays in this very league, it feels very bad to lose to teams who are definitely not playing as well as you because your teammates are, negative gaming.
Yeah, and we talked about it, overextending. This Vladimir finding himself really far up with no ward coverage, going to be falling to this Rakan Fiora dynamic duo.
Collecting his 3rd Dark Harvest stack there, putting in the work.
Absolutely. Kozik's finding himself a little deep, gets stunned, but they don't have the damage because Fiora is in there messing him up. Leona's falling very quickly. Beautiful Vigart cage stun. Instant double kill for the Vigart. That was insanity, and it is all over.
Clinical Vigart play to end the game. You have to hand it to him. Very well played. Hopefully the red team EOD can bounce back and preserve a little bit of their mental, and we get a slightly more competitive game 2. All right, so you're EOD's coach right now. You've watched that game, you get into the call. What do you say to them to fix the mistakes of this game?
You're saying it wasn't huge mistakes that cost the game. It was getting picked here, getting caught there, maybe not putting a ward down here. It's these little things that snowball up, and that was what blue team was able to take advantage of so well, was these little mistakes getting caught off. So you fix those little mistakes, you're good to go. You need to make your players aware of that.
I want to say some things the side of EOD did well. They played around their top side pretty well. They recovered a pretty bad losing lane, and the Vladimir was even or ahead at one point. So if they can convert that lead or put that effort in another lane and get someone else ahead, maybe they can get someone else to play through. I wouldn't probably let this guy have Kazakhs again. It seemed like he was very comfortable on the champion, knew his limits pretty well. Even with what I would consider to be a little bit strange of a build and rune choice, he obviously pops off, know the limits of his champion. Let's take him off of that comfort pick and see if we can band together and not make the same mistakes of our past.
Absolutely. Now, if we take a look at the damage charts here, we're going to see obviously what we expected. Kazakhs way ahead of the other competition. Fiora coming up not too far behind, but pretty far behind. And if you're Volibear, you're feeling pretty bad about yourself, I won't lie.
It is a rough game. There are some games as a tank engage player where your team's just getting stomped out, and there's really not a lot that you can do. I say that as a team's resident engaged slave. Sometimes you're just playing the Jarvan, and you're behind, and there's nothing that can happen, and you do 3k damage to champions, and you just cry yourself a little bit to sleep. But at the end of the day, he attempted to do his job, and I don't think the team composition was necessarily the reason for the EOD loss. I think it was mostly gameplay. I would say take away that Kazakhs and tighten up, play a little bit more as 5, force those big group fights like you did early, because you seem to win those early on, and maybe you can get the snowball in your favor instead of against you.
Absolutely. Now we are going to be watching to see how they adapt their pick ban draft strategy in this next game. We are going to head to a little bit of a break. We will catch you guys in just a minute. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back here in Game 2 after a stomp by Team TA. And we're hopping right into pick ban here. Vigar ban gonna come through on EOD. Yeah.
Seeing that they're assessing the Vigar as the issue there, I feel like the Vigar was pretty much a non-factor until he just got fed through all the team fights. Maybe it was just an uncomfortable matchup for their mid laner.
Yeah, and we're also going to see the Vlad ban coming through. It seems like they thought Vladimir was a little bit of a problem, which is pretty surprising to me considering they played pretty well around it last game.
Slip away from a lot of for sure kills that most other champions would have died for sure. Maybe that's the reason for the irritation, but maybe they just want to put him off comfort. Seems a little strange, but I'll allow it. You won. You can do whatever you want, I suppose.
There's that Caitlyn ban we talked about last time. Very standard. You're pretty much going to see a Caitlyn ban every game, considering how standard she is, how just, universally strong she is.
I'll say Total Advantage have banned Caitlyn both games, no matter the side, so it seems like they just really don't want to play against it. I've seen some Caitlyn games on JC3, but perhaps it's just not his favorite champion to play. On red side, it's much more standard to ban it, however, since it's a very safe first pick.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming that's the Morgana ban.
Last ban, Yep. So that blue ban is Morgana. We will see what ban 3 is for DA.
Sometimes Pro Draft is a little mean like that.
Absolutely. So last time they banned Caitlyn, Echo, Olaf, so maybe we'll see an Echo or Olaf ban here. There it is, Echo. Going with, they're saying, hey, let me change things up a little bit. Maybe swap out the Vlad ban for Olaf. Because I do like what you said. He did alleviate a lot of pressure towards top lane, and he was able to get out a lot of the time. So
another Rakan first pick. Pretty strong. We saw Rakan pull off some pretty good stuff.
Absolutely.
If I'm Total Advantage, I might just mental warfare here. Pick an early Kha'Zix, maybe even a Lucian, as it's a very strong prio pick, and say, you couldn't stop us last game, how are you going to stop us now? They are going to take the support counter pick, though, however. Solid, safe choice. They played well. EOD played well with the Leona, so we're seeing the opposite side of the matchup. We saw what it can do, and a very strong bot lane draft for Total Advantage.
Yeah, so they're going to be picking up the Lucian 2. Lucian Leona is pretty deadly at 2v2 composition, given the early game damage from Lucian. CC from Leona is kind of great.
A little bit quirky indeed. This Leona Lucian is one of Lucian's best pairings. Very strong 2v2. The Olaf pick does come out, though. Leona, the queen of CC, meet Olaf, the king of not caring about it at all. Will just run you down, says true damage to your shields, slows so you can't get away, and absolutely doesn't care about your CC. And running back the Tristana, I believe. Yeah, running back the Tristana. Rakan Tristana, a little strange, but if Tristana's your comfort pick champion, and you feel good into it, it's great until Leona, thanks to the W being able to be buffered. Maybe they can just clear the waves and avoid the 2v2 altogether.
So you touched on the fact that they didn't ban or pick Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is still in the playing here, and I could be wrong about this, but doesn't Kha'Zix do pretty well into Olaf? Because
I have not played... I am a jungle player. I have not played the matchup a lot of times. I have a lot of Olaf games, but very rarely do I see Kha'Zix in solo queue, surprisingly enough. It is supposedly Kha'Zix favored early on, as you can do more damage than the Olaf's health bar, but the later on it goes and the easier it is for him to sustain, I believe the matchup gets harder and harder.
Gotcha. Ahri picked up by TA here. That's an interesting. We haven't not seen Ahri yet. I am honestly not a fan of the champion. I think she's very niche pick. Niche, whatever you want.
Feels a little bit outdated to me. You know, the Udyr of mid lane, we could call it. Why play Ahri when you could play a Kali? Or Zoe, or any of these other champions that fit similar themes, but accomplish them much more specialized and do a lot better in them. We will see the Kha'Zix and the Kayn bans targeting the jungle's pool a little bit, though, so we'll see what he whips out here. I'm expecting the jungle pick here on pick 4.
Absolutely. Something new. Getting this guy off the Kha'Zix. I am interested as to why they didn't pick the Kha'Zix first rotation. It seemed to work out, but maybe both teams didn't see it as a big factor in last game, which doesn't seem right, but
Very possible if you're the jungle player, you just pop off. You're like, I could do that on any champion. These guys are bad. I'm stomping them. I can pick whatever I want. That ego can be very good. It can help your team have a positive mental attitude. It can lead to big wins, or it can lose you the game by disrespecting the enemy team. Corky mid, though, very strong, scaling mid. We love to see it.
Absolutely. Good pick another Ari too. You can kind of, she dashes at you, you dash away. It's that simple. You have a good tool to dodge the charm. Shen picked up by EOD as well. Shen is such a strong pick,
And
especially
is
with
an
Olaf.
excellent pick. Shields the Olaf as he runs in. Very strong. Can help the cross maps. Now, we don't know if this is a Jax jungle, and we got the counter pick Shen, or if this is a Jax top. Not quite sure what happens here. All will be illuminated here with pick 5.
Absolutely. Any second now, the suspense is killing me. Brand is picked up. Was that an accident?
I think that is a disrespect pick, is what I think that is.
Is that Brand jungle?
I think it's Brand jungle.
Oh,
I was testing it the other day. The
my
clears are fine. You do Brand things in team fights. He functions a little bit better if you can fight a lot in the early game, because if Brand can work on low eco support, he can definitely work if he gets his own income. But Olaf is one of the junglers that I would absolutely not pick Brand into. Brand is an early clearer with a slow early clear who wants to get to team fights and just blow people up. Olaf can say, I'm going to do 2 camps and then I'm going to live in your jungle, buddy. And if that happens, the Brand is either going to need his Ahri and Jax to bail him out, or he is going to lose the game single-handedly for his team. If Rindo can play around this correctly, he can absolutely win the game for his team pre-level 6. He can kill him a couple of times, he can push him off buffs, he can set him levels behind. Any of those things, just even simply double crabbing him or stealing a buff, it could be enough to throw this Brand completely out of the game.
Absolutely. As you said, just a huge ego pick here. They've got to be feeling so good about themselves after that last game. Their jungler is sitting on the highest chair you can sit on, looking down EOD.
I have to say, if I were going to give a draft edge here, I love EOD's team comp. Tristana seems like a pretty comfortable pick for their AD carry. Corky's a safe, strong scaling mid laner that can avoid a lot of Ahri's lane potential. Shen scales up. He's got very strong trades. I'm not sure about the Shen-Jax matchup, but I love every champion on the EOD team. They have strong team fight. They have strong split with the Shen. They can get objectives. They can push towers. Love it. Very good multifaceted team comp.
Absolutely.
On the side of total advantage, Jax is a split pusher who needs 3 items. Ahri is a very niche specialized pick, and Brand Jungle is a power farmer / team fighter. If they can get to the 25-minute mark and aren't behind, maybe they can make some stuff happen. But I gotta say, I'm giving the draft edge to EOD here.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, you talk about a nice and solid engage comp, safe dive. Rakan Shen combo. Rakan's diving in, Shen's ulting on him. Tristana's following up nicely with her rocket jump. I mean, this is a nice front to back / dive combination, as we're talking about. So I agree with you. I'm in favor of EOD greatly. But we'll have to see how they play these picks, because I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to, especially with Ahri and her skill shots and Brand, if they can execute the early game well, things could go well for them.
Early on, these mages will have the potential to bully the Shen and the Olaf before they build up their resists and they build up an HP pool. Maybe if they can play aggressively enough and they get good reads and good wards, they can make stuff happen early. Olaf also has the potential to go a carry build or a tank build here, as he's empowered by having Rakan Shen. He doesn't need to just build tank and run at the enemy team. He could go Warrior Black Cleaver and attempt to shred their backline. A lot of mobility here. The only true backliners this game are pretty much Brand and Corky. And even Corky has a lot of mobility. The only stand and cast guy on either team is the Brand here. Everybody else has some sort of dash, leap, something to get them around the map. So we'll see if the Brand can stay alive under all that kill threat.
Absolutely. But this guy's telling himself right now, oh, I got this. I just went, what was it, 18-0 or 16-0
16-0-8, I want to say.
16-0-8. He's feeling. I mean, I've said this many times. He's feeling so good. And he's thinking to himself, "Let's go, baby. I'm gonna kill Olaf. I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna win my team the game through this very strange pick."
Do a little OP.GG sleuthing. Has he been practicing the Brangelo a little, waiting to flex on somebody?
Ooh.
Not seeing it. Have to.
Not seeing it. He's just playing it because he wants to.
Whipping it out. Maybe trying to throw this series so we get more casting time together. I'm not sure quite what his goal is, but
the power play.
We'll have to see. Maybe he's trying to extend the Risen average viewership. Not sure. I think the game is going to be won or lost based off the Brand pick and the Ari pick. It's up to Total Advantage to make these picks good because I think the team compositional advantage from EOD is much stronger.
I couldn't.
With that, I think we're going to take ourselves to break. We will see you guys in a few minutes on the Rift. Hello and welcome back to Premade Unstoppable Playoffs. Do a quick rundown of the teams. On the blue side, we've got Shen top, Olaf jungle, Corki mid, Tristana 80 carry, and Recon support. On the red side, we've got Jax top, Brand jungle, Ari mid, Lucian 80 carry, and finally Leona support. What are your thoughts here?
I am so excited to see this Brand jungle, man. I mean, who wouldn't? Phase rush Brand jungle. He's trying to get the hell away from the Olaf, but he has no items. This man is doing it all. My goodness. So yeah, obviously that's the pick to watch here. Brand jungle. A little bit of the Ari mid. We'll see how that one works out. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
He did back and acquire items, so we've got that going. No major mistakes made so far. I do want to touch on the phase rush, though, because I think that's grief. If you are ever in a situation where you are fighting as Brand, I feel, personally, that phase rush is not going to save your life, okay? You are either going to have to out-DPS them, or you are going to die. These are the facts of playing Brand. I would have liked to see a Dark Harvest, maybe a Predator, an Electrocute, something along those lines to help him either gank or blow through the fights.
Yeah, I agree with the Dark Harvest. I think, especially against Olaf, if you kill that guy, you get him low, you're helping him out with his DPS. You got to kill that guy before he kills you. So I 100% agree.
Lane starts with leashes for both junglers. Olaf is going to clear faster than Brand unless he is bad at the champion. Already done with his Raptors, as Brand is finishing up his Wolves. He's almost griefed it, but did not. Olaf opting for an early blue. He's not going to have 3 off of this, so I'm interested to see his path. Fighting the top lane, though, Shen's getting dominated.
Absolutely. Beautiful trade from this Jax here. I mean, he's just pressing this level 2 lead. Shen's got to respect that, man. Back up. Listen to his... Dude, not listen. Pay attention to his cooldowns. Has he used Q yet? No? Well, he's still got it.
Pressing for the Shen, he's kind of lost lane already. Probably going to, if I were him, I would take an early back here, try to get a juvie beat or something, and come back with a little bit more confidence. Because if you stay at this HP, you're seeding the lane forever.
Oh, yeah. Now,
Olaf did do blue into Grump. Brand looking for a mid gank, or crossing for Scuttle.
Crossing through the Scuttle. He knows Olaf's going to be at that top Scuttle, and he's not trying to fight the Olaf.
Wise choice.
We'll see. Olaf looking for a gank here. Brand beautifully positioned here for the counter gank. Playing it very patiently. They decide not to go for it. And off to the Scuttles they go.
Free recall by the Jax. I like this play. Shen did manage to pick up a lot of CS, though, under his tower and kind of equalize the lead. Can look to push it back into the Jax and back with an advantage rather than a disadvantage. Not pushing his lead quite hard enough into the tower there.
Oh, baby, Brand coming in bot lane. They find onto the Tristana, getting her stun. CC gonna be landed. Flash Q misses. Tristana barely gonna be living with 200 HP. And they don't manage to find her. Too many missed skill shots.
Even summoner trade there from the bot lane. They burned Brand Flash. All the Flashes bot were burned, as well as Leona Ignite. Only the Lucian heal left up, but no sums for the side of EOD left.
Yeah, you're not particularly happy with that if you're Brand jungle. You're looking to do something early game. Also, wow, this Jax has it frozen so hard on the Shen. This Shen is really sad right now. He's begging his jungler, please come bail me out. And again, you gotta respect it, Shen. Although he's
flashing preemptively, he's afraid. This Jax is putting the fear of God into this man. He could have backed off a long time before that and backed with an advantage. Instead, blows his flash for pretty much no reason and kind of dooms his lane.
Yeah, that was interesting. As you said, probably should have just backed off there. Let him have that one. Or don't fight him at all to keep your health up. Wait for Olaf to clear those Krugs, come over and break the freeze.
Really nice roams from the Recon here. This Ari's probably pretty much dead.
Recon
waiting for the flash.
Axe lands, as pressures on this Ari, and she will.
Excellent. Very well played by the Olaf and the Brand there. The Brand is going to execute here if the Leona does not tank it for him.
again, this Jax, I like what you said, putting the fear of God in him. He's playing this lane so well. I mean, he's abusing the Shen when he wants to CS, and because of it, he's a level up. Although there is a big wave there, so it'll probably even.
Probably going to get 5 off of that. Olaf did take 2 of Brand's camps there, as well as securing an assist and getting the Drake here. There is nothing on the map for Brand to do. Jax might steal some of Olaf's things in return here, but Olaf is sitting pretty with camps to do and the health to do it. Brand is going to be sad.
Absolutely. You need, as you touched on earlier, need to not be worthless early game as Brand, because you will only fall further and further down that cliff if you're behind. Wow. Super
Well
outplayed
played.
there.
That is the Shen interaction that people pick Shen into Jax for. If you taunt backwards on the counter-strike, he just follows you like a moron, doesn't stun you, then you Q through him and get your 3 empowered autos off at rapid speed, and sometimes can bait them into the tower like that. Excellent, well played by the Shen. Gonna be much better in the lane now with that kill gold.
Yeah, you're pretty sad if you're Jax here. I mean, he had the confidence the entire laning phase so far. Oh yeah, this guy's under my shoe. He's the gum at the bottom of it, and then to mess up like that, and you're 12 CS down now, pretty bummed.
Brand is looking. It's a very nice position. I don't know if he walked over any wards to get there. Doesn't seem like there are any to walk over, unfortunately for the Shen. He's probably pretty doomed here.
Yeah, no flash available, and they know that. They're going to take advantage of it. Brand passive coming through. Kill going to go over to the Jax.
The one problem with Shen is at this point, with his build, Bomby Cinder does not clear the wave that fast, compared to Tiamat especially. So he couldn't quite get that wave in fast enough, and did not respect the Brand jungle at all, and gonna put the Brand jungle a little bit back on the map here. Olaf with an excellent invade though, seeing the top side, knowing that the camp is up. Gonna yoink it, probably more also. The Brand is pathing back towards top, a little strange. Maybe they saw him go in.
Yeah, that or he just expects, like, yeah, Olaf's probably going to take my camps here. Which is honestly not a bad play from the Brand. You might just clear your top camps and then hit top lane again.
I think Olaf needed to be bolder there. Could have taken a lot more with his bot lane pushing up. Instead of going to look for a mid gank. Not wrong.
Absolutely. This Brand looking for his... What's the jungle item called? Is it Rune Glaive or did they change it?
Runic Echoes.
Runic Echoes. Looking for his Runic Echoes. Gonna start doing a little bit more damage when he has it, but not quite there yet, so he'll be online in a few minutes, continuing this top trading. Jax is just beating on the Shen.
Not quite sure why Shen displayed such clear knowledge of the matchup and then completely stopped using it right there. Absolutely could have just taunted away and done the same thing he did before. Just walk away, nothing bad happens to him. Instead, face tanks the Jax for reasons unknown.
They're pinging their way onto Herald here, which is not a bad idea. Did Corky grab package there? He did grab package, so they're going to use that for the Prio and Herald. Jax and Brand just recalled, so this Herald's going to go down for free.
Strong objective focus by the Olaf. He knows that the Brand is weak. Can look to take Herald, get the crab after. He's got a Grump to take too. A lot of money for the Olaf here.
Oh yeah, he's going to be coming up pretty big pretty soon. So if you're Olaf right now, where are you trying to take this Herald? Are you thinking
the hard
mid
one.
lane?
With Tristana and Rakan, you can probably pop the tower outright, but you want to go where your strongest lane is. But unfortunately, he does not really seem to have any winning lanes. He himself is the winning lane. Maybe he just pops it here immediately.
Look at that.
I don't hate it.
In the mid. Picking up some quick plates. Probably just going to grab those 2 or 3 and then head on out of there. No, not a huge use out of the Herald compared to last game where we saw 3 towers go down off the first Herald.
I will say I love popping it early. I wish that he could have gotten a full tower off of it and proc the first tower gold as well, but he gets a lot of plates. Top fight.
Absolutely. Not a lot happening there. Jax has been really, really good about using his
Oh, they're
Q.
going to get collapsed on here if they don't get the heck out of dodge.
Oh yeah, look at this. We have 4 members of Red Team coming up. Brand with an aggressive flash forward. They want this. Olaf ulting himself to get out of there, but Shen gonna be saving him from the Ari burst. Wow, a
Nice
lot extended
flash.
there. Dude, that was
Ari
Ari
Ignite
Ignite, Brand Flash.
flash, yeah. The Shen keeps his flash, so he's probably okay.
They're not done. They see these
Oh,
guys.
no.
Oh, what a beautiful play from Red side here. My goodness, they're not done. This is last game. Again, controlled aggression. These guys are playing far forward. Oh, wow, is he really gonna get out of there?
On pulling off the great escape there. And I do want to counter your point. I think it is controlled aggression from the side of Total Advantage, but I think it's also a lack of respect from the side of EOD. They see these plays, they know that the enemy laners are there, and instead of backing off, they choose to go for the Grump while low HP. Just no reason to go for that. Back off. Maybe sit in the try if you're worried that your Shen's going to get dove, but otherwise just leave it alone.
That's a good point, because, I mean, what? It's a Gromp. Is that really worth a dying double kill? I mean, obviously not, so that's a good point, actually.
Drake is up here. If the Olaf can secure this, he's putting his team in a strong position, even though they are down about 1.5k. The rare double pink, hate to see it.
Blue team going to be taking complete control of this dragon. It looks like they're giving it, especially because they're bot lane back. I wonder if that was a call, like, hey, can we back here? We're just giving this dragon anyways. Or if they backed without even thinking about dragon.
If I'm Total Advantage, I'm thinking they haven't punished us for picking Brand yet, okay? The Olaf stole some camps, but he also didn't efficiently clear his either, so the Brand is actually a camp up. This is not a great sign, okay? If you are playing Olaf into Brand, you need to be Flame Horizing him, okay? You need to be up 4 or 5 camps. He does have all the objectives, which has taken some of his time, and he has participated in a few fights, but the Brand has as well. The Brand is not behind by any means. In fact, he's up 600 gold due to the kill and the other assist. So you have to wonder if this Olaf player is super comfortable on the champion because he is not utilizing his strengths to the best of his ability.
Yeah, this Brand is feeling good right now. He's sitting pretty, getting real strong mid-game. He goes for Morello's second item, I imagine. And he's going to be popping people pretty soon. A very aggressive Reconnel, going to be looking for that Lucian, but they will not find him. They don't know Leona's here. Face checking the bush. They're going to engage onto the Olaf, forcing the ult. Nothing's going to come from it. Jax TP's in, but gets denied by Recon. Corki TP down as well. We now have a 4v5 down in the bot lane with Shen top lane watching with ult, but it looks like everyone's just going to walk home.
A lot of over-aggression there from the side of EOD, I want to say. The Rakan knew nothing was happening there, but popped the ult anyway, a bit confusing. And then they burned the Corki TP when nothing was happening. He could have saved that TP, gotten an advantage, and instead, they're very far behind.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to see two different fights going on for Red side. They're bot lane and both mid-jungle duo in the enemy jungle, but they're just looking for those raptors, I assume, but no one going to be falling.
Oh, nice dodge by the Olaf.
Aggression from Ari, going to be just like, Olaf, what are you doing, man? You need to be backing off. You know she has ult charges left. Oh man, red team is just playing this aggressive game, looking for these towers, these dives, and it is paying off, all because of what you said. They're not respecting it.
On the one hand, I admire their gumption. They are sticking to their guns. They're fighting for things. They're obviously not lost their mental edge, but it's okay to give things sometimes. You don't always have to fight them. You can trade. You could have 4-man bot. You could have just backed or done your camps. Instead, we're contesting that mid-tier one when we have no business contesting.
Absolutely, and next thing you know it, score only being 2-4, red side is up 3,000 gold, despite being down 2 dragons. And that gold difference coming from
a lot of that gold is on the jungle disparity. The Brand is taking good, nice paths. He is clearing very efficiently. He is fighting well. All things that the Olaf is not doing. These are things that he should have advantages over the Brand over, and instead just playing right into their hands.
Absolutely. Also, take a look at the 80 carry difference right now. As of right now, Lucian is an entire mana immune up, although I'm assuming Tristan is sitting on some gold. But still, there's a 30 CS advantage there. There it
And
is.
it's
Infinity
all
Edge
CS
advantage.
there as well. There is no... Maybe they got a couple of plates, but mostly just CS and laning advantage there.
Yeah, they must have played bot lane pretty well as Leona Lucian.
And they're going to
talks about
crack the tower here.
Nicely done. Forcing, I mean, what are you going to do? It's Tristana. You're sitting on 2,500 gold on the Infinity Edge, and that Lucian is an entire mana immune up. You got to back off there. If not, they're going to dive you with Leona ult.
Heads up play for sure. Just feels bad when it happens.
Absolutely.
And
More
the
of
Jax
same
just
trading top. Oh.
not so bad from either side. The Shen executing his game plan well. The Jax walking away after he realizes it's not going well. Pretty good for Shen.
Mm-hmm.
If he can do that again, the Jax is low enough, but Brand is snuck into the top side.
Mid lane is looking very even. Whoa, hold on though. We got Brand sitting in the bush top lane. Gonna be dashing out of that one. Nice.
The unfortunate thing about playing Brand jungle is that his spells are so slow. It's very easy to dodge the Q. If you have a dash, once he makes himself known, you just dash away, and there's no way that he lands it unless he hands a sick predict. So let's see if the side of EOD can get any sort of dragon set up here. Putting on Drake Point would be amazing. Getting Soul would be incredible for their team.
That's what they need to get back into this game. But if you're TA right now, you're saying hell no you don't. We're gonna walk in here and take it from you. Corki package coming in, trying to cut off their backline, but it's not gonna work. Engaging onto their backline, gonna be finding that Brand jungle. They want him, but will they be able to get him? Ari peeling him off.
That's all your axes, dude.
Olaf hammers down the Brand. Lucian at the backline hitting. Ari overextends a little bit. You just gotta back off there, and she will fall.
This is a miracle fight for EOD. Very excellent package.
Huge.
And the Tristan is so fed now. That was all off the back of that Corki package. Incredibly well done. Way to have the balls to just go in, ignoring anything that could have happened to you. Dodges the Brand combo after. Amazing stuff. It's gonna have the gold lead. It's gonna get them their Drake point. They are now on Soul Point. 3 dragons to none. The only thing that can maybe happen is Jack stealing some camps or getting the Rift Herald. But overall, really well played fight from the side of EOD.
Yeah, that is really what you like to see. They're feeling good now. Let's go, guys. We're in this game. We win these. But despite that fight, they are still almost 2,000 gold behind, but that Soul Point, as you were talking about, huge.
In that fight, you saw why I would never pick Brand into Olaf. He just clicks R, he Qs you one time, and he can auto you down. He doesn't even need to throw the axes. He threw maybe 2 that whole fight. He just said, I'm going to run at you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the Brand just cried.
Absolutely, crying in the corner. As you said, I like it that the phase rush, not enough. At all. It did not matter how fast he was, because Olaf is faster.
Phase rush is completely irrelevant if they can just permanently slow you. It matters so little. I just think that phase rush is a very greedy, weird keystone to greed for. I guess he just wanted all the blue runes? I'm not really sure.
Herald dropped top lane to try to knock the tower down. It's so close to knocking it down. That tower lives with a sliver of HP. Jax actually manages to save it. Not like it's anything big. That tower will go down eventually.
By to a caster minion auto pretty much at this point, so not too worried about it.
Absolutely. And more of the same for mid lane. Both mid laners just clearing wave after wave. Now, I will say, Corki is scaling.
He is close to his Triforce.
So, but this Corki is going to be a force to reckon with late game if he reaches, 4 or 5 item power spike. Oh, baby.
The only Ari build that I respect is the Glacial one. The one where you just dash in, you get the spooky ghosts, you force them, but Leona's getting engaged on. She's probably dead here.
Overextending. The CC not going to be enough to save her. Stoneplate tries, but a nice axe combined with a Corki R will take him down. Olaf finds himself in the middle of the team with a Shen ult trying to save him. He will go down, but the Shen does go through onto the Ahri. The taunt misses. 2 more kills coming for that Olaf. Does die in the end. Ahri might be overextending.
Jax in the backline.
Forces to blow. Jax TP's behind. He's looking to fight here. Onto that Corki, dashes away. Taunts. They're looking low. Flashes on
doing some work.
Beautiful.
Tristana, so clutch!
Away. He lives. Shen trying to flash away. Jack's stun coming through. Shen will fall, but Tristana living that, which is honestly for a TP getting 1 kill, that is not terrible for the blue side.
I'm gonna have to pin that one on the Olaf there. He waffled very hard after the initial engage. They killed the Leona. They could have either chosen to trade 1-for-1 or chosen to go for that play, but he was not concise in his call or his posture and led to his team waffling behind him. He either needed to just go straight onto Lucian or Brand or try to run away. Instead, kind of wiggled back and forth and then eventually decided to go for the fight, but lost way too much of his HP bar just sitting there getting fully blasted by the Brand and the Lucian.
Absolutely. That's got to come down a little bit to communication, right? He probably didn't know the Shen'll was coming. So he's thinking, oh god, I'm low, I need to get out of here. So he starts running, and then next thing you know, the Shen'll's on him. He's thinking, oh gosh, maybe I can go back in. So I think I would guess that's why he's struggling to make a decision. So maybe you just need to communicate as Shen, hey, I'm an ult you can keep going. Just go tear it up, baby.
Shen is a very strong pick, but it is hard in these lower elo or even any amateur league for that matter because it's such a communication reliant champion. My team tried to make it work time and time again, and we just realized that we are not as proactive on the comms as you need to be to make this pick overpowered.
And back to farming. I mean, this Brand has had a pretty much clean jungle all game. Going to be 25 CS up on the Olaf. He's been picking up assists. He would ideally like some kills, but again, that Morello finishing very soon, he's going to spike.
Not sure how I feel about the double Morello on the Ahri and the Brand. They're both going to be hitting mostly the same targets, and they both apply it really well to the whole team. I'm not sure both of you needed to go it.
Yeah, and is there even really that much healing on the side of blue? You have what? Olaf W and
Conqueror.
Rakan Q? Conqueror.
That's pretty much it.
And Corky Fleet. That's it.
I'm assuming that it's mostly to shut down the Olaf, but one of you can just hit the Olaf. That can be your job.
Yeah, I think if you're Ahri... Oh, so,
Soul
okay, so
point?
Brand does go for the Rylai's.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I think if you're Ahri, you opt into something else. Either, as you said, just go the Glacial build from the start because it's better. Or maybe something like a Zhonya's here.
Olaf forcing the issue.
A huge
Rakan?
dive in from the Rakan. Gonna charm onto a few. Jack's diving onto the Olaf. Back on hitting. Finds his way onto the Tristana. Blows her up, but not quite. And Jax does go down to the bomb. And
Corky, a hero. Winning the whole fight.
Here. And they're chasing, baby. Exactly. Corky's coming up big here. He's scaling.
As I was watching the top side of that fight, I scroll down and I see Corky's gotten every single person on the side of total advantage below 50% HP. Absolute hero play from the Corky to win his team that fight when the Olaf decided to face tank the entire Lucian ult for no reason.
Huge for blue side here. They have now almost even the gold disadvantage, and they have Infernal Soul. They're feeling so good right now. Olaf feeling good. Tristana feeling pretty decent, and Corky. This guy's going to be a monster soon.
That's probably going to be some pretty big item spikes for the side of EOD. Tristana's sitting on 1200, Corky's sitting on 1200, 1800 on the Shen. They're going to be getting some nice items when they go back to base.
Oh, baby.
We'll see what they go for in these next builds. Corky getting a BF sword for his Infinity Edge, pretty standard, important part of his spike. He's already finished his Muramana and Triforce. He is feeling quite strong right now. Olaf going a pickaxe, we're assuming that's for a Sterox Gauge. Tristana going double longsword, maybe for a Phantom Dancer, could be for Runan's Hurricane. We'll have to see as her build progresses. Shen, I don't love his build, I have to say. Normally you go Sunfire Cape or you go Titanic. It's not the worst thing to build both, but I'm not sure that he needed them both in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really one to, know about top lane builds as a mid player, but I'll have to take your word for it, although he's doing pretty well for himself.
The reason that you need either Titanic or Sunfire on Shen is you have to be able to push the wave, especially when you're side laning. both those items achieve the same goal. You can go the Sunfire Cape to be more defensive, or the Tiamat into Titanic if you want to be more offensive and a backline threat, but oftentimes going both is a little bit greedy as you miss out on real tank items like Adaptive Helm or Randuin's.
I see. That makes total sense. Now, Rakan going to be
Rakan
trying to
engage.
engage onto the Ahri here, trying to ult away. Beautiful flash taunt, but the Ahri having all three ultimates still is not going to make it away. But then Rakan gets blown up by Jungle Brand. Olaf finding a way onto the Leona. Leona going to try to dive. Does fall. Olaf goes down as well to the Lucian Brand. Corki in the backline running low. Nice Tristana flash, dodging the Brand W. Ooh, goes for a little more than she can handle. Dies to Lucian, and Jax will clean up the backline here. All in
Big overstep from EOD there. Huge overstep. They got the pick onto Ahri, but Olaf did not anticipate the Leona E going for his backline. Just stood there yet again, tanking too much damage for no reason. He has to read these fights a little bit better if he wants his team to be able to execute.
Absolutely. And now if you are TA right here, you're that was the breath of fresh air that you needed. The game was escaping through your claws, but that's the grip they needed.
Definitely could have been a very major throw there. The EOD was very much in the driver's seat up till then, but the Lucian's going to have a lot of money to sit on. He's going to start shredding the Olaf even harder. I'm starting to wonder if the Sterox gauge is a little bit greedy. I might have just teched into real tank items at this point. You do enough damage, they're all so squishy. What do you need the Sterox for?
That's a good point. This Lucian now having, I don't know if he had his Man Immune finished for that fight, but now he has it in.
And he just built a full Essence Reaver.
Entire Essence Reaver. This Lucian is huge right now.
Shen really wants to get his Adaptive Helm before the next fight. If he can get his Adaptive Helm and Corki can get his Infinity Edge, we're feeling a lot better about this team prospects. But oh no, Tristana built Bork! Oh no!
Oh.
Huge throw to Boris there. There's really no tanks for her to shred. She just needs Phantom Dancer to survive these fights. I do not like that, Bork. I do not like it, Sam. I am.
Oh no, is what I would have to say to that. I mean, what? You built a Bork for Leona? You're not hitting Leona. You're hitting Brand, Ahri, Lucian, who are three very squishy champs. So you go Phantom Dancer there for that crit, for that survivability too. My god, the amount of burst they have.
Shen looking for the strong 1v1. He can do it with his build.
That is a lot of damage coming out of him, but the stun does land. He looks like he's
They can look here.
Health, but jumping onto Ahri, same exact situation. Ahri getting chased down. Tristana E will finish her off. Taunt lands onto the Brand. That guy gets blown up instantly by this Tristana.
Nice jump on the
coming! Corki coming in. Gonna be fighting onto the Jax. Knock up lands. Corki in the back hitting, and it looks like they're gonna run for their lives, and they will live.
He's not overchased here. Oh no, she pushed way too far without her team. Completely throws that huge advantage that she got for her team. That could have been a free Baron, and now it's going to be very sketchy.
Much more risky for this Baron.
Jax
TPing in, I like that. That's a nice and aggressive. They can't do anything without Tristana. She's pretty much everything. This Lucian can play forward. Very nice dodge on the Rakan. Olaf flashing in to try to take down the Lucian, and he will do it, actually. Shen ult onto this Olaf. Oh my goodness, he's so strong, but Jax is not done yet. He's looking for this Corki, but gets taunted. He won't be able to find him. Huge.
Olaf, a matter of inches there, kills the Lucian before dying himself. Very, very, very close fight. The Jax, I believe, could have probably killed the Olaf if he stayed on him. Chose to jump on the Corki. Not sure if that was the ideal play, but very, very close fight. Very tense moment.
Absolutely, and just like that, we see
Elder is up.
Back in the game. Now, again, I said this, I'm no top lane connoisseur, but does this Jax build look a little troll to you?
Does. However, he is against double AD carry, so I can understand why he wants the Frozen Heart, but Corki does magic damage. Yeah. Black Cleaver, who are you shredding armor for? The Lucian? I don't like it. You need your Triforce, you need your Death Stance.
Yeah, absolutely. Death Stance will be huge here. Elder coming down at 29 minutes. Blue team taking it really quick. They don't understand how low it is already, and blue team has Slender Dragon. Elder going to be taken, and this fight should be an absolute steamroll for blue side. Everybody going to be falling. Leona falling, but Brand actually manages to take down Olaf.
It's a 1-for-1 or 2-for-1 actually, but Elder did fall. If they can get the brand here, it's big. Rakan shuts him down. It's 3 versus 3, but they have Elder on their side. Corki is up and he is spiked.
Jax running in to the Elder gamers. Not sure about that one. They look like they want to fight here against 3 champions with Elder. I mean, you got to understand this. Corki is sitting in the back line.
1-for-1 yet again.
Huge ult coming forward.
This Corki can apply the buff so consistently.
I am pretty surprised that they didn't actually lose more of that. I thought that was super troll engaging like that, but
The Corki has to play very defensively versus Ari Lucian because he can get one shot, which is why he had to play so far back. If he had a more defensive item, perhaps maybe a GA or something like that, if he was that strong, he could have played more aggressively, but he has to respect the Fed Lucian.
oh yeah, big time.
Shen has completed his adaptive helm. Olaf has completed his Sterox. Everybody's feeling pretty good. Tristana has completed that absolute vomit item of Bork. Perhaps we will see a third game here. Rakan has finished his stone plate. There are spikes all around. Ari is close to death cap, and Brandon's working on his own. Everyone's losing to Boris this game between the Jax and the Tristana, and the Shen's build's a little wonky. Olaf probably needs some tank stats. Boris is making a little bit of money off this game.
Oh yeah, they are transferring this right onto Baron. These guys have been so in control of the objective game. It is kind of insane. Red team forced to respond as fast as they can, but will it be enough time?
Nice
Blue
smite.
team has laid the
Oh,
beautiful
Rakan's
smite.
all the way in.
The backline,
Way to
huge
go.
three-man taunt into a
Oh, no.
flash taunt. Oh my goodness, Corki blows everybody up with a beautiful setup from his team. That is just a huge win for EOD.
Very, very well played by the Rakan. Knew he had the stone plate. Knew he could go for that huge engage and makes an absolute hero play for his team. Corki capitalizes on it with the Elder buff, making sure that wombo combo goes just as well as it could have.
Oh yeah, Shen with that flash taunt coming in huge for Corki burst. We love to see the communication.
Corki TPing in.
Team fight. They want more out of this. They're saying,
He's got
he's
package
too. They want this inhibitor, and they are not going to stop at any means. Well done from EOD, gotta say. Especially from Corki. I mean, he played that fight beautifully, really pumping out the damage in the backline. TP helping secure that inhib. You just love to see it, man. Warms my heart. Now, Lucian actually finished a Death's Dance here. I didn't even realize he was building into it. He must have been sitting on a lot of gold. But that guy's going to be a lot harder to kill now with the Corki.
Much harder to kill. Might need another Elder. It's going to be... He's been playing fights very well, very far back, getting a lot of value out of his Manamime ult. Fights are now about the Brand with completed Death Cap and the Lucian for the side of Total Advantage.
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know much about Brand Jungle either, but when you go Rylai's, doesn't that mean you want Leandri's as well? Because
Rylai's and Leandri's are super synergistic. They feel very good. I'm guessing he just wanted the raw AP for the one-shots. I personally would have built Leandri's here, but...
Yeah, I agree. But hey, he can't hear us, and he already did it, so we'll see how that works out for him. Now we have a mirror kind of split going on in the map. 2 members trying to take this top tower, but in their own base, they're kind of getting hammered by Baron.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Building the Shen, Corki can...
Massive.
Oh, no!
Wow, Arya way overstepping and just gets blown up by the
Not
Corki.
respecting this super spiked Corki.
Now, I also don't understand why they have 2 top lane. They're thinking they can split against the 3 to 4 man with Baron? No, sir.
There is no way that you ever split into the Shen there. He has Titanic, he has Sunfire, he clears the waves instantly.
Now, we'll look to fight here. Rakan
Rakan's
going to be
working.
engaging onto the Leona. They blow her up instantly. Jack's in the backline running
Olaf's
for his
running
life.
at him.
Olaf, huge shuttle
running
coming
away.
in. Taunt onto the
And the Lucian's dead.
Wow, that guy gets blown to hell. They may look to end the game here.
They absolutely can. Super minions wave stacked. All the carries are dead besides Brand. Should be a pretty clean win for EOD here. And a close game, but they take it home.
Yes, sir. Now we have ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, a game 3. Top into the post-game analysis.
Not game 5, so it's not silver scrapes. Is it bronze scrapes? Is that where we're at?
You know, there may have to be a bronze scrapes. That is actually, I like that. We need a bronze silver scrape. bronze.
I would love to give the MVP of the match award to the Kennen there. The support mid both looked very great for EOD, but Corky's spacing, Corky's play in the team fights, he won his team to soul point, he stopped his team from losing after the Elder, he conserved the Elder and won that fight after Baron, killing the Ahri, allowing them to win the game. I loved everything I saw from Dr. Kennen there, and I have to say, huge MVP award to the Corky.
Now, see, I would agree with you. I do, obviously. Oh my God, he played beautifully. But I don't know if it's somewhere deep inside of me. I have a soft spot for Rakan, but I think that Rakan played this game so well. I guess in team fights specifically.
If I could give them both the MVP, I would.
Oh yeah, and honestly, hard to choose one as well. Olaf played really well around the objectives. I mean, my goodness, he was on top of those dragons. We had the first Elder slain at what was it, 28 minutes?
29, I want to say.
29 minutes. That's crazy early, and it was 4-0 dragons. So huge from Olaf too, and then Shen holding it down 3-3 and 17. I mean,
very high kill participation. He neutralized the Jax pick pretty well. Didn't die to ganks. Much stronger performance from him this game.
Oh yeah. So yeah, in my opinion, it's not a one-person carry. Although my goodness, does it look like it? 11, 2, and 10. But that's just beautiful team play from EOD.
The last thing that I'm going to say before we head to our break is the brand did do a lot of damage there. 30k topping the damage charts. The only person that came close in the game was Corky at 26,000. So he did affect the game, just not quite enough.
Well, that's actually pretty surprising. I would not have guessed he did that much damage. But look at that.
And with that, we're going to have our little quiet bronze scrapes, and we are going to wait until game 3. See you guys after. Welcome back to our Bronze Scrapes and Unstoppable Premades round of 12 featuring EOD versus TA. Series is tied 1-1, and this game will decide who advances into playoffs. How you feeling about this?
Oh baby, is this a spicy one? Game 3 is always fun, and a lot's on the line here for both teams. This is it. This is whether you get into playoffs or not.
Yeah, and as we have seen, the team that wins this will go on to face Sky, one of the scarier teams. I believe the top half of the bracket is much stronger than the bottom half of the bracket. I think a lot of things will be decided based on who advances versus Omega Gaming and TT, and if whether or not Sky can advance. So we probably will get finals a little bit early in this bracket. If I had to guess, the pure true two strongest teams will meet earlier than finals, but we will have to see. Vigar, Tom, and Morgana bans on the side of EOD. Rakan, Corky, Shen bans on the side of Total Advantage, not wanting to play against that Shen. He was an excellent pressure sponge, played really well in a hard skill matchup. I'm glad to see the Shen ban, the Corky ban again. 3 bans from the last game trying to take away their momentum.
Pretty funny. I do like the Rakan ban, considering it's such a nice, safe pick, but Caitlyn is also up right now. Towards the end, there it is, Caitlyn picked. So, pretty much to be expected, ban Rakan instead of Caitlyn, but no Rakan means something a little different, which is pretty spicy.
We're going to see at least one new support this game.
You'll love to see it.
Caitlyn enables a lot of enchanters like Morgana, which they banned themselves, but Lux, other enchanters like Nami that have a little bit of a hard time with not such a lane-dominant lane opponent can be picked with Kate. You could also go safe with things like Leona or Alistar, anything like that. The Jhin is a very safe pick into Kate. One of her only decent matchups. One of the only decent matchups into her, rather. I don't hate anything so far. Everything looks good to me.
Fan of Jhin. Okay, well, there's some Janna.
That
Whoa.
I do not like.
I haven't seen a Janna since like season 4.
Janna is not a super strong support in the meta right now. I know Lulu doesn't synergize super well with Jhin, but I feel that Lulu does everything Janna does but better right now. Lulu could be picked up here. You could go for the E-Girl v E-Girl matchup. You could try to pick an engage tank and just try and dominate the lane. There's so much potential here on the side of EOD, and they're going to take the Olaf again for the objective secure. I'm sure Olaf is a feel-good champion in competitive because you have so much versatility. There's so much that you can do. You can farm, you can fight, you can do anything you want to do. Love playing it myself. Feels good, fits into every comp. It's a nice pick.
Absolutely. Wow, I like what you said. The bot lane. Jhin, Janna, 2 super immobile, little bit of utility champion. Oh man, are they looking...
Taking the Ahri away? I'm not sure about that one, Chief.
Since when is Ahri contested pick? Surprising.
Dr. Kennen does have 12 Ahri games this season and has won 11 of them. So not the worst guy to be piloting it, though. I guess maybe that's what he feels best on. They want to blind the mid early. Lissandra is something that Total Advantage has played before, looking through their past games. They had success on it, just trying to neutralize the mid pick since it doesn't seem like they played through their mid laner much at all. I don't hate Lissandra, but I don't love it either.
Yeah, I mean, if we see some nice like jungler presence, a jungler who can have presence rather, with that Lissandra, I mean, Lissandra's gank setup is just beautiful, and we'll have to see if Ahri takes cleanse or not. If Ahri doesn't take cleanse, she is easy picking.
If Total Advantage does not pick a high DPM jungler, I'm a little worried for their comp. Jhin is great at bursting, great at long range. Lissandra's great at setting things up and extending fights, but does not bring the pain herself. And Janna exists to help your hyper carries, which Jhin and Lissandra are very much not. So I'm not really in love with the Total Advantage game thus far.
Yeah, I like the bans coming out from EOD. Target
Kane, Kha'Zix, awesome bans.
because what they really need right now is a strong jungler who can really thrive off of the setup, right? You want a jungler who can go in and what am I looking for? Use that Lissandra utility, the Janus shield, tornadoes, and they're taking that.
Finding the top laner, Total Advantage seems like they're absolutely throwing this draft away. They've tossed it in the dumpster, they've lit the dumpster on fire, and then they shot a missile at the dumpster. They're allowing themselves to get counterpicked in the top lane when they already know the jungle. They could have just picked the jungle there, saved the Fiora for last, and made sure they got a preferential matchup. Instead, they just let him get counterpicked for no reason, unless that's a Fiora jungle, and I'm getting bamboozled.
I'd say the odds are slim for a Fiora jungle, I won't lie to you, but I do agree, not picking jungle there was pretty troll. And there's Kayle. We did talk about, he's a Kayle one-trick, right?
I believe so. I believe that is his most played champion. I can go take a look real quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 73 Kayle games with a 62% win rate. Very strong, comfortable pick for him. Late game insurance policy. We're going to hope that the Olaf goes tank here to make up for the lack of frontline, however.
Absolutely. I love me some Braum. Especially into Jhin. It's very strong. You can just shut that man down. Don't let him get his fourth shot off, his ult off, W, whatever it is. I gotta say, I really like EOD's comp right now.
Kayle and Braum have really good synergy. Braum and Olaf are very strong 2v2ers. Caitlyn Braum is a decent lane. I will say it's definitely stronger than Jhin Janna. And last picking the Graves, I gotta say, just based on the order of picks, everything, Myopia's Kayle has been unleashed absolutely in the chat. I enjoy the EOD draft. Not a huge fan of the Total Advantage draft. The one thing I will say is they did draft some more DPM in the picks of Fiora and Graves, so they will not be super low damage for team fights, but that Olaf and Braum can stack armor. They don't care about the Janna Lissandra damage pretty much at all. The Lissandra has to get super fed for it to matter. Whereas if you look at the side of EOD, they've got Caitlyn, they've got Olaf, strong physical damage. They've got a lot of CC between Olaf, Ahri, and Braum, so then you want Merc Treads. They've got Ahri and Kayle for magic. There's just too much stuff to defend against on the side of EOD.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're seeing a big old draft EOD, and if you're TA, you need to pick jungle fourth, not top blind, and you need to not ever pick Janna, because that champion is bad.
I agree wholeheartedly. Now, I'm going to put myself in the side of Total Advantage's coach, all right? I reapered myself, okay? I outdrafted myself super hard there, okay? I gotta give my players some little nuggets right now before I leave the stage. How do I win this game? And the only way that I'm seeing winning this game is every lane just crushes their opponent. You have to shut down the Kayle before she scales. You have to not let the Caitlyn completely dominate your Jhin Janna. You have to stop the Ahri from getting a nice shove and roams off and looking top and bot. You have to stop the Olaf from just free farming and taking all the objectives. But I'm looking at the side of Total Advantage, and the only lane I'm seeing with any potential to do that is top lane. So that's going to be the powder keg that I'm looking at for Total Advantage to try and win the game through.
Absolutely. Now, Kayle becoming ranged at level 6, you really only have a small window as Fiora to punish the top. And if you're Olaf here, all you have to do is, throw an early gank up there. And I feel like Fiora's pretty screwed level 6 on. You have no kill pressure on that ranged DPS beast of a champion, although that becomes more adamant later in the game. I think it still does apply.
Looking at some statistics online, the Kayle versus Fiora matchup seems like a complete coin flip. It favors the Kayle the later the game goes, obviously. But for the most part, it seems a little bit Kayle favored if the statistics are telling me the truth. We'll have to see if they can play through the Fiora. Looking at team identities here, I'm seeing another pretty nice, strong, multifaceted comp from EOD. They have side lane potential in the Kayle and Ahri. They have pick potential in the Ahri Olaf Kate. They have team fighting in the Braum Kate, Olaf, Kale. There's not a lot that this team comp can't do. Looking at Total Advantage's side, that's another draft like Game 1 where I'm not quite sure how they're going to pull off the Fiora split push win condition when their 3-man core is pretty weak and Graves is such a selfish jungler.
Absolutely, I just could not. And this is going to be a spicy one. TA is going to have to play very well if they want to win this game. It looks like a huge draft difference, but if they can play anything like they did in Game 1, they can bring this Game 3 home.
And with that, I think we're going to head to our break. Make sure that you guys stay tuned in for our little bronze scrapes here. Can Total Advantage win the lane phase and crush the game, or will EOD outdraft them to victory? Find out in a couple minutes.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 here. We're going to be kicking it off. EOD versus TA. Really good matchup here in the top lane for EOD. We got Kale, jungler Olaf, mid lane Ari, which is pretty crazy, and then the bot lane duo Caitlyn and Braum. And on the other side for TA, we have Fiora in the top lane, Graves jungle, Lissandra mid with Cleanse, and the duo in the bot lane, Jin Janna, which is
As we have loaded in, I want to take a minute to talk about runes, specifically the ones that I feel like are substandard. And the ones that I feel are substandard are Graves, Dark Harvest, and Lissandra Electrocute. First off, I don't think that Dark Harvest is a great rune on Graves. Phase Rush is a fantastic rune. It's broken. If you can use it viably, you should just use it, okay? Use Phase Rush. It's disgusting. Second off, Lissandra, how are you ever proccing that Electrocute on Ari? She's just going to Q the wave from a million miles away from you. When are you getting that Electrocute off? When are you getting the value? I just don't see it.
So, as a mid lane player, Electrocute is a very, like, you do it if you're good at Lissandra and you play really aggressively. Normally, you only do it if you had Ignite. I think it is strange that Lissandra opted for Cleanse here. If anything, I think Ari should have gone Cleanse. Lissandra should have gone B. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, she took it for Ari charms, but are you really that worried about getting hit by an Ari charm? You need to cleanse it?
Could be potentially for late game, trying to avoid a Braum Q, perhaps. You know, slow and stun. Graves did start topside without a leash there. I'm not sure if the blue team discerned that. This could be a potentially very nice start for the Graves. Easy path, uncontested by the Olaf. The Olaf did his red and Raptors, is going to be pathing up towards top, trying to bail the Kale out from his bad lane.
Absolutely. I would love to see a jungle attention in the top lane to start off here. Fiora doing what she needs to do is punish this Kale, early.
Olaf finishes Wolves, now on his blue. Gonna hit level 3 here. The Graves doing a full topside clear, so can potentially be ahead of the Olaf here, if he does opt to full clear.
Beautiful Fiora ward there, actually finding the ward onto Olaf's blue. They did see that she warded it, but just knowing where the
I'm not quite sure that it was in range to see Olaf taking his blue. There were no pings that went down on the map, so I kind of believe that she didn't quite see it.
That's a good point. We did see Olaf ping. Olaf did see the ward.
He was in the bush, so...
I haven't seen Olaf. Oh, that's a good point. Although, he can't really get around it without...
Yeah, he's just going to show himself. By nature of existing, he's going to take a little bit of pressure off the kill. He probably needs to go help the kill push this massive wave in, though.
Absolutely.
If Fiora gets a freeze off, it's pretty doomed.
Olaf is pathing towards topside here. They might not expect it, although he did walk over a ward. Hopefully Fiora has...
A while ago, I think he should go for this. As the wave is crashing, you can at least force her to back uncomfortably.
As you said, you need to help Kale get this wave in, and it looks like that's what he's
nice
going
to
do.
Get this wave in. Very nice. The Kale can back. Get an early... I don't know about staying here. You got 700 gold. Just get a mana crystal. Maybe a dark seal to go with your corrupting pot. Something to help you through the lane. You're going to scale no matter what you build.
Yes.
Graves taking a good invade, though.
There's the back from Kale. Need my scoreboard here to see what she's picking up for herself. Double longsword. So she's going for that Cutlass first into Gunblade. Pretty standard. But does not opt for the Dark Seal, the sustain option, which is interesting.
I'm not sure that there's a correct Kale build out there, but that's one of the champions that I don't know enough about to confidently say that you should build this or shouldn't build that. I see it built every which way under the sun. It does a million damage pretty much no matter what you build, it seems like. So, you know, go with what you know.
Yeah, pretty much agree with that. Very standard clear from both these junglers. Graves, full clear into Scuttle. It's looking nice and pretty. Olaf now on bot side taking Krugs. Might look to look bot here, although wave is hard to say. They're both pushing. Trading.
Olaf is about to find another single raptor like he found in game 1. Sad times.
Oh, again, I didn't catch that. He took the Raptors. Oh, and a nice deport there too, so they know exactly where Olaf is.
Unfortunate
No
time
going down.
to not have a sweeper. Yeah, it's possible that they missed that.
That would be bad.
Kale's going to ding 6 here soon. Probably not on this wave, but one of the following two, I would guess. Mid laners have just dinged 6, so probably this wave for the Kale. Maybe a couple of minions after 6, since she did get a little XP leached by the Olaf.
Actually,
Oh, they see the Graves here.
Graves. Might be in dashes over. Pop the plant. I don't know where he's going with that. Not taking a recall. On their way, they're gonna stop his back
Not
here.
quite be able to get to him, unfortunately. I'm unsure how they spotted the Olaf out. I didn't quite catch that, but they did know that he was in there.
Interesting. Crazy so far, very even CS in all the lanes. Slight advantage mid lane. Lysandra already picking up that lost trap. Very nice.
Yora's going to have a bit of a CS lead if she catches this wave properly. There's a lot of camps bot for Olaf to take. I'm not exactly sure why he's topside with the Drake up. Maybe looking to steal a buff here if he knows the timer. Maybe looking for a mid lane gank. Okay.
Ooh, this could be good. Things on the way, although Lysandra, does get
Nice charm.
No cleanse pop. He tries to get herself out of there. Gonna have to flash and will ult herself to try to save. Healing up a little bit. Gonna actually come out of that one alive. Well played.
Burns flash there for kind of RATP, but she would have TP'd anyway. Oh, Olaf?
Huge solo kill from Ahri. Olaf gonna be taken down by Graves. Ahri under tower low.
And Fiora did get a solo kill on the top lane on the Kale. I think it's important to mention that. I'm sure that she just crashed the wave incorrectly.
Absolutely. So, red team coming up big. Nice solo kill by Fiora top, and Graves doing his Graves things. And now they're gonna maybe look towards Dragon here. Yep, they're on it. So that was unlike Olaf. The Olaf we saw last game, same player playing it, was on that Dragon right away.
Well, it seems like he wants to get the kills and get the picks before he goes for the objectives. He wants them completely uncontested unless he's got all 5 of his teammates there. He also did not ding level 6. His pathing is not great compared to his opponent. His opponent may be a suboptimal building, maybe suboptimal runing, but he's definitely getting outpathed every game.
Absolutely. Starting off strong. TA is gonna grip this game. We'll see how they can run with it.
Kill has dinged 6. Olaf has camps to farm up top. Maybe he can catch up to the Graves a little bit as he takes a reset. Mid lane is looking alright, a little bit far behind for EOD, but nothing unsalvageable and an even bot lane.
Yeah, that's kind of how that one goes. Lysandra can be pretty oppressive in lane, especially with junglers nearby. She's so good in that 2v2 skirmish.
Sandra finds a pink, clears it out.
Easy cash money. Bot lane, very standard. Jhin going man immune. I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't think that it is why you don't know about it.
Ah, I guess that makes Trying to get this Fiora. Parries the axe. Nice parry. She's slipping right on that. Here's the Olaf again, helping Kale get this wave in. It's the help she needs. Until Kale gets that 2 items, the Gunblade Ginsus, she's pretty weak. Although, red side looks like they're in position. Maybe collapse here. Graves moving in. We're gonna look at him like he's the prey, but Lysandra shows up with a nice W, popping the Olaf ult. And they will be able to burst him down with the Graves ult plus Lysandra spells.
Well played from the Graves and the Lysandra there. They used their spells very well. Didn't overcommit. No flashes burn. Obviously, they didn't have them, but they didn't overcommit or overextend. Very clean 2v1 there, as the Olaf walked up a little bit too brazenly when he didn't know where the mid laner was.
Absolutely, and a little interesting there. Lysandra didn't use ult. I would have thought she'd use it there 100%. It's barely not needed. Now she still has it for.
They're paying it. They want to go for either a play in the mid lane 1v1 or a 2v1.
Oh yeah.
You need to utilize. There we go. That's the word. You need to utilize this Lysandra ult.
Oh, they're looking.
Free kill every time. Cleanse coming through on the charm. Lysandra ult falling.
Can Olaf make it there?
Behind. Both jungle is just a little bit late to the party. They don't know Olaf's there, but nothing will come.
And I would call that a very big win for the Ahri. She didn't have to expend her ult there until she dodged the Graves Q, or she had 1 tick of it left. But not dying there is huge.
It looked like Caitlyn was getting blown up, but no, Una reverse card, and Jhin actually gets destroyed, and double kill for that Olaf. TP coming in from Fiora, Graves shows up late as well, but...
What is Olaf doing?
At the same time, Olaf is leading his team to die, but they have Ahri on the way.
Huh?
It's kind of a cluster down here. I don't know what's going on. In the
His
end,
bot lane serves him up a double kill on the silver platter. He says, "Thank you for the double kill very much. I would like it if you went and died now."
Yeah, smell you later. Pretty greedy from the Olaf there, especially he's going the Cinderhulk build, which is standard, I assume. Not warrior.
It's very good when you don't have a dedicated main tank on your team. You still do lots of damage between your E and your Q.
Gotcha.
You can opt into the Black Cleaver if you do want a little bit more backline threat, or you can just opt into full tank with Deadmans or Randuins. Both are fine.
Gotcha. If you're Kale here, you're pretty happy about that. If you are TPing down, she grabbed 2 plates there and a few waves, which is great for Kale. So she's sitting pretty, and all of the gold on TA here is on Graves. That is a 4-0-0 Graves. So that's a big man, and he's going warrior into serrated dirt. Is that a what's it called? Yomu's, you think?
It could be Yomu's to get around the map. It could also be Duskblade. It could even be the vision item. All are good choices on Graves. Graves uses lethality very, very, very well, and all the lethality items like Graves.
Gotcha. A little bit of a base check here from Lysandra. Going to be going down really quickly. Gets hit by the Ahri Charm. Cleanse not available. Also, Fiora solo killed Caitlyn bot with a nice little bush cheese. Very well played.
No.
As well.
Well played by the Braum there. He knew they had no vision. Oh, going again.
Yeah, again, getting caught out in the same exact place that her teammate just died in. Forget the pink ward, man. Go run, live. And it's going to be a pretty free Herald going over to EOD here.
The Fiora has gotten a lot of money off of this. She's gotten plates, she's gotten kills, she's getting pretty much uncontested waves. This is a great lane state for the Fiora. The Kale has gotten pretty much the same, but did not get a kill.
Very true. Putting the Herald onto Kale, so they're looking to get those last few plates on her soon, hopefully, taking it straight top lane. Yeah,
it is pretty much one-shottable at this point. They need to pop it soon, though. No one's in position to stop them.
Absolutely. They gotta go, though. They got 25 seconds, but they're dropping it right away. Very well. Graves getting chunked out by Ahri here, and the enemy jungle flashes in and absolutely whistles. Oh, gets killed by the Braum.
Oh, no!
Barely. And Lysandra finds herself stunned and CC'd to death. Braum picking up the
Oh, no. The Braum has 3 very important kills on him, which is very unfortunate, and I feel that the Ahri could have gotten both of them by playing more aggressively.
Olaf getting punished there for chasing down the Jhin. He whiffed an axe pretty hard, and it cost him his life and the kill. But it is not for nothing. They do get Dragon off of... Or, excuse me. No, yeah, they get Dragon off.
I will say that play is probably net positive for the side of EOD. EOD is feeling good. They got a lot of money on the Kale, but unfortunately, all the shutdown money they have is now on Braum, which is not ideal. The Ahri definitely could have gotten that, I feel, had she just been willing to trade a little bit more of her HP bar. I don't think she was in danger of dying. And Olaf kind of sprinting at top. But those things happen, you know? The support's getting the bounties and the jungler running it down. We'll have to see what they do with this tempo advantage that they've gained for themselves with the top tower going down and the dragon in their pocket.
Absolutely. Gold graph now looking dead even. Only 500 in the positive for TA here. But yeah, this is anyone's game right now. I will say I want to see the Kale scale in the late game, but she's 2 levels down.
That time that she was helping her team in the river, Fiora was just eating waves bot. So she's going to need to scale up a little bit and hit level 11 before she can realistically fight the Fiora again.
So a little bit of miscommunication here from the red squad. Graves said he wanted to go in, but Jinjan not at all. Nothing actually coming from that. I thought there was going to be a much bigger fight there. They must have spotted the Olaf.
Oh, this could be big. Oh, stay in the bush, stay in the bush.
Ari charm.
Whiffs the charm.
Janna barely escaping with their life. Oh, they're looking over the wall, but they get spotted out. They still see
Ari's
Ari.
dead here.
Ari coming in. Oh, flashes
badly on
the flash onto Ari. The Sonder cleanse gonna be saving her. Both so low, but Jinno coming in. Nice shot.
Nice
now
snipe.
The Braum with those big bullets of his, but he'll get out of it this level.
You saw them in the pit. You warded, you saw them, and instead of walking together, you split up. It's these little simple plays that EOD is messing up that is really costing them this series.
Absolutely. Oh,
one mistake there, one mistake there. Does not a series lose, but they add up quick.
Oh yeah. They're battling. We'll actually find the Janna there. Nice engage by Braum, utilizing those those shutdowns he got earlier.
I don't think he's bought since he got them, to be honest. He's sitting on 2,000 gold.
Oh wow, look at that. He hasn't backed in a while. It's crazy. 2,000 gold for a support is like the world. Whole item right there.
Probably looking to get a Knight's Vow and most of a Locket or a Zeke's Herald here.
And so now we did last game talked about the Ari. Took Electrocute last game, the Ludzeko build. This time we're seeing the Glacial Ari build, which is much better in my opinion.
I feel that this build is so versatile. You do plenty of damage with your Q and your Charm. Oh, Olaf sprinting it down
Olaf
there. I'm not
finds himself in the enemy jungle without Prio in either of his lanes.
Not quite sure what the goal was there.
You're kind of begging for death at that point. I won't lie.
Back to the Ari, I think that Glacial gives you so much setup, it makes it easy to land all your spells, and it makes it easy for your teammates like Kayle and Caitlyn to pile on after.
Absolutely. You're trying to catch up Braum here, engaged from the Lysandra E. No CC landed on him yet, rooted. Braum is all alone in the jungle, getting ran down. Jhin overstepping here maybe a little bit. Ari with a slow. They try to do her best.
Huge Ari Q.
Super low. Caitlyn not going to come in and try to finish it, but Lysandra will block it. No kills there. Fiora with a pretty late
RTP behind.
there. Not accomplishing a whole lot with that one. Dragon is up here very soon. Let me get my objective on. Yeah, Dragon is up very soon. And red team's looking at a good spot to grab it. But Fiora, after TPing in their back, and is running straight back top.
She wants to keep pushing her lead against this Kayle. Unfortunately, little plays like that can allow the Kayle to come back. She does still have a 2-level lead because she is only side laned, but if she ever leaves for an extended period of time to team fight, Kayle's going to get those levels right back.
Absolutely. This is not the same Olaf we saw last game. Last game, we saw this Olaf take control of the objectives, take control of the map, helping out his team. This game, he seems like he's lost it a little bit. He's kind of inting, put it soft.
Not sure what happened between games. I'm not sure if he wasn't super confident in his performance from last game, but oh no. The Janna just gets deleted by the very fed Braum. He should just build carry items at this point, I guess.
And that Dragon's gonna head over to EOD.
In situations like that, where you're in a 2v1 versus the support, there's just no reason for the kill to go on unless the last tick of Ignite gets it. I understand getting kills as support feels very good, it's fun in solo queue, but in a competitive game 3 like this, imagine if the Caitlyn and Ari had all those kills. Imagine the item breakpoints they could be at. This could potentially be a minor mistake that loses them the game.
Oh yeah. Glacial not able to find the Fiora there, but Ari's still walking up for some reason. They have Ram and Olaf on the way. They might try to cut her off here, although Ari took the long way around and she will not be there.
Graves does have a red pot here. He's looking to brawl.
Well, this is a 4v, potentially 3 up on the top side, but both teams decided to disengage. Nothing gonna.
Interesting time for the Graves to tech into red pot. I'm not sure if he was really feeling the need to fight for Baron. They lost the Drake after the Janna pick. I'm unsure why he would spend 500 gold. It's not like he's in a must-win scenario right now.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm personally not a huge fan of buying pots so early. But he might actually find himself caught out here. The Olaf axes are slow, and
oh, that's a lot of damage.
Most of the team. Lissandra trying for the counter engage, ulting, trying to find the Olaf, but it's barely not enough damage.
Oh,
Here comes Fiora with the flash Q. Gonna be taking Olaf down and able to chase the Braum down, taking him down as well. This Fiora is a monster.
She is so big here. And unfortunately, the Kale is trying her hardest, but she's not getting donated these free things that the Fiora is. So she's just not as strong. She will eventually scale up and become relevant, but Fiora's up almost a whole item over the Kale, and it's going to be up even more on this next base.
And pretty aggressive general here, but they're not going to punish it at all. Fiora finding him on the sideline, beautifully played actually, forcing them to walk back into the general.
Burns Caitlyn. Oh, wow. And the Graves gets it!
Graves ult snipe. Nicely done, my friend. Beautiful. Making use of that red pot of this.
Imagine if the Caitlyn had Phantom Dancer there.
Right, if that gold wasn't on Braum. She lives. Lissandra may be finding herself a little bit caught out, but Lynn's a nice route, taking the E. But I think against Olaf Braum, you are not going anywhere.
And Braum correctly donates the kill there. Very nice.
Well done, well done. Braum actually with 100% KP as of right now.
Making things happen for his team. If they can get Kale on board, perhaps they can start winning some fights.
Absolutely.
Fiora's level 15, Kale's level 12. I don't know if she's just not soaking the waves properly or what, but this Fiora is getting everything and taking all of their lunch money.
I mean, look at this Fiora. She's rocking 10 CS a minute right now, which is not easy to do. So she's been roaming well, taking camps, hitting well. She's always where she needs to be to pick up these gold advantages. She's 4 levels up in the enemy, 3 on her level. She's just a monster.
And look at that 1 Q chunk. Takes almost a quarter of Kale's HP.
Hopefully the Kale player can bring it back late game. If the game goes to that, I would love to see some Kale action. Lie to you. But overextending a little bit, but it's a prank. They have 3 members here to take Fiora out, but that movement speed with Triforce is going to get her out.
Oh no, Braum extending flash for no reason. Completely over-greeting there. Just not a great play. If the side of Total Advantage was in position, they absolutely could have Baron there. Unfortunately, the Graves is on a reset.
Yeah, we actually, wow, double lethality items coming from this Graves. So maybe that's why he opted for the Dark Harvest. He's looking to one-shot.
There were a lot of squishies, so now that I kind of understand his idea, it's not the worst thing I've seen. Still think Phase Rush is better, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the lethality Graves. That's really not what he's for, right? You want to see this.
He does have 9 Dark Harvest stacks, so he's going to start doing a decent amount of damage, but they're on the Baron.
Actually on the Baron, despite 2 members.
RATP.
RATP, no flash available for Braum. So he won't be able to
Although Lissandra could get caught out here.
They now have 5 strong on the side of EOD. Fiora engaging when you don't know where anybody is might be kind of troll. Running for her life.
Big kill of Fiora, it's huge.
You can't run from Olaf. You can get shut down. That's huge for EOD. Janelle coming in, huge damage. Braum says, "My shield is here for you," and he blocks.
Now, unfortunately, another case of 1k gold not going exactly where it needs to go, but better on the Olaf than the Braum.
Oh, Olaf picking it up. Yeah, that's super troll from Fiora there. You can't be engaging like that when you don't have vision anywhere. And now, you're handing over a free dragon, which is what we saw them do so well last time.
despite having 3 Drakes to 1, due to mostly the Fiora advantage, which is a whopping 2,500 gold, EOD is down 4k here.
That's pretty big. Yeah, you look at this Olaf, or excuse me, not Olaf, Graves. That is 6-1 Graves. He's huge. He's gonna be busting out the damage if you get too close. Graves is actually 60 CS up. Olaf.
Graves is up over 1k, the Olaf. The Lissandra up about 300 over her opponent. The Jhin up 1.5k. The only person with the gold lead on the side of EOD is the Braum.
The Braum. The man, the myth, who's been taking a little more kills than you should. Yeah, you looking at the carries score lines, 1-0 and 5 Ari. You don't want to see the Ari with 5 assists. 1-3 and 5 Caitlyn. You don't want to see that.
I honestly wouldn't mind the Ari having 5 assists if all the kills were on Kate and Kale.
That's a good point.
Ari is not going to one-shot their backline going the Glacial build, but Caitlyn could, Kale could. Instead, we're getting another Fiora kill.
Wow, we're running down Fiora here. Gonna be parrying the axe. Doesn't pick it back up. Flash Q out.
Flash down.
Again. Ooh, barely
And the Great Escape.
Shatters Braum's ankles.
Oh, Kale.
Kale takes an aggressive pathing mid lane. Cool. Graves says,
She's so dead.
Maybe he might look for an ult here. Ooh, does get it.
Not quite.
Dark Harvest proc. Kale will make it out of this one, barely surviving with that ult. Good attempt from Graves.
A little bit greedy from the kill there, not knowing where anybody is. Need to be careful.
Absolutely.
This lethality Graves is effectively a Kha'Zix at this point. Oh, Olaf doing the same thing.
Hammering Olaf so much damage. But maybe even finding himself...
Oh, but maybe they can kill the Graves here.
Huge Glacial coming through. Graves gets taunted and killed, and Braum is, next thing you know, in the middle of the team. Lissandra ult gonna stall it out. Fiora comes up big here with a nice setup.
Oh, but they can't finish the Lissandra.
Barely living. Jinru actually lands on a Caitlyn, but they're gonna opt for the disengage. Well played from Fiora.
It is 2 for 1, but they do get a shutdown onto the Ari. She's gonna be able to carry a little bit harder next fight. We are looking for the soul point for EOD. Maybe they can control the Drakes yet again and control this game that way.
That's, again, I keep saying, exactly what they did in game 1. They had the Drake advantage the whole game. They pushed that, and that's how they came back and won. And we're looking at kind of the same thing in this game. 3 Drakes to 1. It can easily be won, EOD's side, with these dragons.
Looking at the Kale win condition, she's about 2 levels away from winning the game just by nature of being Kale. That is a ticking time bomb that the side of Total Advantage needs to be worried about.
Absolutely. That, and she's coming up on Ginsu's pretty quickly. She has the recurve bow done. Now she's just looking for the other parts, and that is a monster.
Sorry if anyone can hear the dog in the background.
I don't hear a thing, actually.
Great. Noise filter working wonderfully.
Perfect. So now, looking at the builds, Fiora being Fiora with Conqueror heals a lot. Plus Death Stance Ravenous. That is a lot of healing. There is... Oh, no,
Not much else.
Caitlyn does have Executioner. So they do have some anti, as well as Lissandra ult heals a little bit, and Jhin ult. So they might need a little more than just...
I don't mind the Grievous. If the Fiora gets into a backline situation, you have to apply Grievous to her, or else you're never going to kill her fast enough. Drake is spawning pretty soon. Olaf is taking a reset here, though. I hope he's got enough time to get back there. And Fiora's splitting.
I actually really like this from TA. They have Fiora splitting with TP in the top lane, so they have a lot of pressure up there because Fiora cannot cage this animal of a man, level 17.
But Kale can just clear the wave.
That's a good point. She can just wave clear. Level 15 now, not quite 16, and Kale actually builds into a Secret's Arm Guard instead of going for the Ginsus.
Hate it. A lot of physical damage between the Jhin, Fiora, and Graves. Armor shuts down lethality super well. I think it's a very safe... I probably would have just teched it into Tabbies, personally. I don't think you need the Zerker Graves on Kale to function, but better late than never. Graves is on the backside of this pit.
No,
looking to 50-50.
The hero skill here. He flies in, ults but misses it by 7 HP. won't be able to finish off the dragon. That's Soul going over to Olaf's team, and now they are just gonna run over these guys. Janna getting cut off.
I think it's a huge misplay by the Fiora to TP here. She should have just cracked the top inhib and made them come to her.
Absolutely. Wow.
Instead, huge team fight victory for EOD there. Amazingly huge. They got the soul, they got some kills, everyone's feeling good. Unfortunately, Ahri and Caitlyn still aren't containing these kills, but hey, what do you know? Graves splitting.
If it's working for him, it's working. Graves is bot lane, while the blue team actually looks for Baron maybe here. They're starting it up. I don't think TA knows that they're on it, and they might expect it.
Correction, Fiora did not TP, she just walked.
Yeah, look, Fior's taking red buff. I don't think they know they're on Baron. This is a great call.
They do not expect this at all. They're not wording it, they're not walking to it, they have no idea it's happening.
You know, now Blue Ward goes onto it. Caitlyn's just hitting it though. They're looking to finish.
They're gonna get it.
ASAP, and it goes down to Caitlyn.
Close.
Huge for EOD here.
Just run away, get the Baron back. You got Mountain Soul. You've got your Kayle about to ding. Oh, she just did ding 16. This is huge. EOD is poised to win this game.
Just like that. I mean, they're still down. This is exactly what we saw in game 2. They're down gold, but oh man, are they up in objectives. They have 4 dragons to 1. Baron. Yet they're still down, but it makes up for it.
As certain analysts would say, gold differentials can be neutralized by drafts, and that's a classic textbook example of what we're seeing here. The gold isn't even on the right people, and EOD is still equally, if not stronger, than total advantage, just due to the fact of their composition. The Kayle is scaling, the Olaf has built more or less correctly, the Ahri has Glacial, she's providing a ton of utility, the Braum is almost unkillable with all these skill shots that they're throwing around. The only person that can win this game for total advantage right now is Fiora.
Speaking of Fiora, she's running down bot lane right now, but I think Kayle might be at the point where she can stop her. She has the Ginsu's completed, so maybe we'll see a little 1v1 down there. I'm excited to see who wins. But if you're EOD right now, you're saying, hell yeah, baby, we got Mountain Stone Baron. What are you going to do about it? We're going to walk down mid. You can't stop us.
Their 4 is way stronger than total advantage's 4. So as long as Kayle doesn't die in the side lane, everything is gravy for EOD.
Gravy, baby. A little squabble there in the bot lane. Nothing really going to happen though. They take down tier 2 mid turret for a total of 2 turrets with that Baron push. Root finds an Ahri. They're calling for the engage on it. They're focusing this Ahri so hard and gets blown up by Graves.
Who's gonna go down? The Caitlyn playing way too respectfully, not getting any autos in that fight, just sacrifices her teammates to die. She could have gotten a lot more damage in, maybe forced the Graves to not play so disrespectfully. Instead, they've given a lot away, thrown 2 Barons. Braum's bringing the Elder Dragon. They're probably just gonna try and wait turtle scale for that.
That is huge for Team TA here. They're going to be looking to push mid. They want inhib. It's 3v5 right now. Although it is very hard to push into Caitlyn. She has a trap line, as well as some huge tower damage. Excuse me, other way around. But they're going to transfer to bot lane and look for the inhib here. And it looks like they're going to take it down no problem. And there it is.
Fort's gold lead there. Unfortunately, Caitlyn didn't have any traps set up. Good rotation by total advantage.
Absolutely.
Elder Dragon spawning in 2 minutes. Baron spawning a minute and a half after.
Oh man, is this game going to come down to one big team fight? It's either side right now. Now that Baron is over, I think it's slightly favored in TA's side just because of that huge gold advantage, and this Graves and Fiora are so strong. But again, it's easily won from.
All right, if I'm total advantage, I'm thinking we need to make a play off the Kayle, the Fiora split. If she can get a good play off, we can absolutely win the game off her. If I'm EOD, I'm thinking kill the Kayle, kill the Fiora, win the game, and they do. They managed to do it. Very well played. Nice Kayle ult on the Fiora target. Can they send this 5v4 into another pick, into some towers, into the Drake, into the Baron, into the game?
Yeah, I think she does revive a few seconds, 20-30 seconds before that dragon spawns. Does have TP, but they need to do something right now with this Fiora's down. Baiting out the Braum ult there, nicely done. Janna cut out on the right side.
They're just gonna leave Janna to die here.
Janna gets blown up, Kael's gonna secure it, and now we have Dragon spawning in a minute, and that's Janna dead.
Someone needs to deal with that bot wave. It should be Kael. She's backing. Okay. Scale it up. She's got 307 CS. She's going to get close to matching the Fiora's items here soon. She's got one more item left in the tank. Fiora sitting on a BF sword. Probably going to be GA if I were guessing.
I would assume so.
They need to clear out this vision around their bot side. They have too much vision in their jungle. Hopefully no one gets assassinated by the Graves in this bush.
We do see a lot of good dragon vision for EOD here, which is what's going to determine this game right now. Is this Elder Dragon spawning in 15 seconds, and we see people splitting off top line, which is fine. They have teleports available. This right here is it. We cannot miscommunicate like you did last time with your TA.
Yes. If the Braum gets a clean engage here, it's an easy win for them. TP coming in from the Ahri. Can they kill the Graves?
Graves look like to be caught out, but Lissandra going to be barely escaping, actually into their backline, looking to kill Caitlyn, tries to flash out onto a trap.
Buying some time.
On the other side, Kael is going to be ulting herself from the Fiora. Fiora not able to do anything. Charm finds
Kael's in face melting mode.
Disengaged. Oh man, if TA is powerless. I think EOD is playing so well. This Caitlyn is now huge, and she can walk up and do whatever she wants. Going to be looking for this Graves to really secure the Elder Dragon. He's running for his life, baby. Looking onto the backline now. Fiora assassinates?
Oh.
I can't tell what's going on. I won't lie. Graves dies.
EOD is winning the game right here. They've done it.
Be taking it over. Huge.
Grab the Elder. Grab the Baron. Push to win. Kael can back and deal with those supers, so your towers aren't even going to get scratched. Getting the mid lane pressure via the Ahri. I love everything they're doing right now. Textbook.
Very, very well done. Since that fight was so long, they have the death timers spread out a little bit. I would have maybe thought they'd go for the end right there, but considering Lissandra and Janna are respawning very soon, they made the correct play. Elder, which is
much safer, much easier. They hard out scale. Everything's going exactly according to their playbook. They can just get the Baron. They cannot be contested. They just have to do it before Fiora can TP on them. But there's no good TP ward, so I think they're safe.
Yeah, this is going to go down. No one even near to contest it. And oh man, is this game looking heavily. And just like that, did I not? We talked about 10 minutes ago how EOD was down 3,000 gold, and now they're up.
They've swung the game about 7,000 gold in the last 10 minutes, which is incredible to see.
They're looking big right now. This Kael's getting huge. Looks like a Rabadon's last item. My goodness, that's a lot of damage. Kael still has an item and have to go. Ahri on the same level.
Kael has equalized with the Fiora at this point. They're both sitting on their last major component in their last major item. Caitlyn is approaching her 4th item. Same with Ahri. Everyone's getting there.
Oh yeah, I think if you're EOD here, you just like what they're doing. They send one to deal with Fiora split, and the rest just send it down mid. You have Elder and Baron. You need to be using this for some fights at mid.
As long as the Fiora's not winning the game by herself, everything is super nice.
Kael actually opts to win.
Kael can win this. Kael wins this easy.
Collapse Fiora.
She won that without Elder.
TP into the.
And I think that's going to be it.
Game looks like it might be over here. Elder coming out huge. The damage from Caitlyn in the backline. Kael's hitting these towers. This game is going to end here, ladies and gentlemen. EOD with a reverse sweep against TA.
Incredibly cool, calm, and collected gameplay from EOD. They got absolutely crushed in game 1 of the series. They didn't tilt. They kept it calm. They picked their picks. Everything went amazingly according to plan. Even though their early games were a little bit rocky in game 2 and 3, they didn't tilt. They made sure they played to their comp's win condition, and thanks to 2 really excellent drafts, it went perfectly for them, outscaling them super hard in game 3, playing their much better comp correctly in game 2. Very well played to the side of EOD. For that game, I would really want to give the MVP to Kael there. She kept it cool. She got really hard slammed early, but she farmed the waves. She tried to help her team out as best she can, and she went from 0-1-0 to 4-1-7, participating in 11 kills. After that, most gold in the game. Huge turnaround performance.
Yeah, that's huge. I think having one death as Kale is you did something right in the game. You survived the landing phase. Like it's just so huge. And you look at that two ways. Either the enemy team didn't punish it enough, or you played the lane exceptionally well as Kale. And I think that's what he did here. Pulling out in the end. I like big game. I think I would give my MVP to Olaf, Mr. Rindo here. I think he played it back. Another really good game. Not as clean as game two, but again, staying on top of those objectives. That is what I'm talking about when there's objective focused jungler.
Series MVP vote. MVP of the series is going to go to Adam. He may have trolled a little bit in game 3, but he kept his team in the game, both game 2 and game 3. Really impressive, really clean support performances, not running it down, getting great engages. Way to go to the side of the support. The biggest disappointment would probably be the jungle on TA. I feel that he had all these games in his hands. He could have carried them all, but instead I don't know if it was his build, I don't know if it was the plays that he wanted to go for. He didn't quite convert the leads that he was getting because he was absolutely demolishing Rindo every single game, but couldn't convert those personal leads into team victory.
That is exactly it. And this is the same guy we saw go 16-0-8 in game 1. 16-0, which is insane. So I personally think it was a mental thing. He from there thought to himself, "Oh baby, I'm so good. Let's go, dude. I'm gonna steamroll these games." No sir.
No, sir, indeed. My closing comments are congratulations to EOD for advancing to the quarterfinals. They will face Sky next week, and then if they continue on, they will face the winner of Omega Gaming Lunar versus Tyrell's Tortugas.
Woohoo.
Exciting matches. Looking forward to it. I'm sure one of those will probably get streamed next week. We'll have to see.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Congratulations to EOD. Beautiful series.
Congrats, and I think we're going to send it out. Thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast, and we will see you guys for the next game.